Welcome into Hanson Aggregates Field here in sunny Boonville, New York for a matchup between the Utica Blue Sox and the Boonville Lumberjacks. I'm Evan Simbita alongside Brady Foxwell. And Brady, interesting matchup here today. Boonville winless through their first two games, but you know how the saying goes, third time's the charm.
Yeah, that absolutely is what they say. Boonville needs a win today, or at least it would just be nice to get one, see one go in, go into the win column. But they have a tough task in facing Austin Rhodes from Utica. He goes to American International College, had a 5.55 ERA there, and was absolutely a workhorse. He 8 innings, had 60 total innings pitched with 43 strikeouts in those innings. And one thing about him is he's pretty smart in the classroom too, earned academic honor roll for the conference.
Well, hopefully it'll help him out here today against the Lumberjacks. And speaking of Boonville, it's a man that we've already seen come out of the pen this year on the mound to start the game for them. It's Colin Glenn.
Yeah, Colin Glenn hoping to get things going. We caught up with him pregame on what he was hoping to do. Coach Christian Griffin hopes that he gets 4 innings out of him. That's the goal. Last game, they were struggling a little bit out of the bullpen, didn't have quite as many arms, brought a few guys in, had 2 days of rest. That should seriously help him today. If Colin Glenn can eat 4, he's looking to attack the zone and create weak contact. We'll see if he's able to do so.
Yeah, uncommitted JUCO sophomore pitcher, primarily a fastball and slider thrower, but we'll see what he brings out today against the Blue Sox. Only appearance this year was against Oneonta, the last game out. He had 1 inning pitched, allowed 0 runs. He was one of the only pitchers to get through an inning clean in the latter half of that game. First batter up for Utica is Michael Flashner.
Yeah, Flashner, College of Staten Island guy. He's expected damage from him.
First one outside for a ball. And that one outside as well, 2-0 the count.
Yeah, Flashner. They're calling him 5'9", 175 out of the College of Staten Island. That's actually his hometown as well. He finished second on the team last year with a .345 batting average and was tied for first with 51 hits. He's been leadoff every single game for Utica thus far, and he's looking to start the trend early for them.
That one inside as well, a quick 3-0 count.
Not what Colin Glenn should be doing out there, and I'm sure that's not what Coach Christian Griffin, that's one thing they emphasize, is don't walk the first batter, and if they do right here, hopefully that's not a sign of things to come.
Glenn ready for the 3-0 pitch. That one outside, and a 4-pitch walk to start the game. Michael Flashner, the first man on. That brings up Caden Frey, the second baseman.
Yeah, hopefully just getting the nerves out early. Not exactly how you want to start the game with a leadoff walk, a free pass. You just want to at least see one go over the plate in an instance like that, but we'll see how the rest of this inning goes for Colin Glenn.
Caden Frey, the second baseman, 5'9", 175 out of Purdue University. That one up high for a 5th straight ball, 0-1 the count.
Yeah, Frey, a guy that played for Purdue, did not play a game for them, however, was simply on the roster, redshirted this year, had some incredible high school numbers, however, hit .388 with a .512 slugging percentage with 8 extra base hits, 21 RBIs, and 35 runs scored total as a senior. So the Power 4 offer was going to come when you put numbers like that in the prep circuit that he did.
Quick mound visit after a not great start from Glenn from the catcher Michael Clarkson. And hopefully the plan of attack bettered by that defensive visit.
Yeah, 5 straight balls. The crowd is not chanting ball 5 at least here. It's a home environment, but something that he will want to clean up if he wants to stay out there for like 4 innings as he hopes to do.
Here's the 1-0. That one up high almost hits the batter Frey, and 6 straight balls now for Colin Glenn.
Yeah, they call that chin music is what I would call that. Up and in, let him know. I mean, I think there's a better time to do that after you throw a strike, of course, but maybe back him off the plate if he's a little too taking up too much of the box.
Here's the 2-0. And that one inside as well, so 3-0 the count, and Glenn on the verge of a 2nd straight 4-pitch walk. Frey hasn't walked yet this season in 2 appearances. Shows bunt, pulls back, and gets a free pass, so runners on first and second. Only 8 pitches into this game, 2 walks already for Colin Glenn.
Yeah, his day only gets a little bit difficult. Now he's got to face the catcher, Ian Wirtz, out of Lehigh. It's not someone you want to be facing with 2 runners on.
Another D1 guy. Only 1 appearance so far from him this year. 3 at-bats, 1 hit, which was a double and a walk against Oneonta on opening day. That one in the dirt by Glenn, collected by the catcher Clarkson, and that makes it 9 straight balls now.
Yeah, at Lehigh, Ian Wirtz was absolutely a dog. He led all of Lehigh with a .319 batting average, had 37 hits with 18 RBIs with an .832 OPS. So this is someone who can clearly do damage, especially with runners in scoring position, like so.
And that one inside as well, so 10 straight balls to start the game and an early mound visit by head coach Christian Griffin.
Yeah, the Blue Sox are having a good time in the dugout right now. They're getting pretty antsy out there, and as they should be. 10 straight balls is absolutely an atrocious start to the ball game. Hopefully Colin Glenn can pick it up early.
Obviously no movement in the bullpen so far, but in a game like this, it's been described to us as a rivalry game. This is not the way you want to start out.
No, absolutely not. You don't want to play from behind at all, and it's looking like that's going to be the case here. Boonville struggled the same way in Saturday's contest, I believe it was, where they were dealing early, but bases loaded and let up a few mishaps that ultimately ended in a few runs for the opposing team. And Colin Glenn really's got to settle down here, just throw one over the plate, don't leave it hanging, but get that first strike of the game at least. That's what you need in a situation like this.
Yeah, Wirtz, a dangerous hitter, though, in the 3-hole for a reason. Only 1 appearance this year, but already batting .333. 2-0, still the count. Colin Glenn fires. And that one outside as well. 3-0 the count for the 3rd straight at-bat.
Didn't miss his spot by too much there, but sometimes when you're already not throwing strikes, the umpire isn't inclined to give you a close call like the one right there.
And that one inside as well. So a 3rd straight 4-pitch walk, and it's a meltdown on the mound. Colin Glenn just can't find the zone right now.
I think it's a little too early to put someone in the bullpen, but definitely a thought that has to be going through Coach Christian Griffin's mind right now. And Colin Glenn still hoping to attack the strike zone, but with the bases loaded right now, you cannot afford another walk.
So bases loaded for the 3rd baseman, Xavier Smith. That one inside for the first strike of the game on Colin Glenn, and a loud cheer from the Utica bullpen in jest of that 12 straight ball streak.
Yeah, that's not the type of cheering that you want to be having on your first performance of the season. At least he finally got one over the plate.
That one in there for strike 2, and Colin Glenn ahead for the first time today, 0-2 the count.
We need him to settle down and get this batter right here. 0-2, he absolutely cannot lose him in this situation.
Xavier Smith awaits the 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. That one up high, and 1-2 the count now.
Yeah, they are chirping him in the opposing dugout, and hopefully he's able to play through the mental games and doesn't let that get to his head and is able to just buckle down and retire this one. Corners are in. They're ready for a play at the plate, trying to not let him score early.
The corners of Lopez and Swangham pinched in a little bit. Middle infielders still at their regular depth. That one inside and a called 3rd strike. And Xavier Smith set down looking. First batter out today for Colin Glenn.
Yeah, Boonville dugout likes that. Utica, of course, isn't a big fan of that, but that is must needed for the Lumberjacks there. You don't want the opposing dugout cheering for you to throw a strike. So if he's able to get out of this inning, even with 1 run given up, that would be a fantastic finish to the top of the 1st.
Zach Sweeney, the right fielder, stands in now. First pitch beans him inside, and that's an RBI for Jack Sweeney. Not the way you want to start this game, but a hit by pitch means a run walks in.
Yeah, he's throwing inside, I don't think on purpose, but that's not what you want to be doing, especially if Utica is crowding the plate. They're going to wear that. They know that they have ice, and just rough start so far.
So now Alex Jacob, the switch hitter, first baseman. Swings and misses on pitch number 1, 0-1 the count. And one interesting thing about this Boonville team so early on in the season is they had 2 days off before this game. And I know we speak about it a lot, certainly in baseball. Having more days off is not necessarily always a good thing. As that one's inside for strike 2.
No, it isn't always 2 days. I'm sure it did help them, especially the hitters who struck out 26 times in the first 2 games, a trend that cannot continue if the Lumberjacks want to keep playing in August. But I'm sure they enjoyed their days off. They hyper-focused on hitting. I'm not sure how much attention they paid to the arms.
That one just misses outside. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Glenn, they'd want 4 out of him. That was what Coach Christian Griffin stressed earlier. He wants 4 innings out of Colin Glenn. And even though he does have some more arms available to him than he did on Saturday, he just needs him to buckle down right here.
That one just a little outside as well. 2-2 the count. Still 1 out. Bases are loaded for the Blue Sox.
Don't want to lose him going down 0-2.
Alex Jacob in his last game, 2 at-bats, a walk, a hit by pitch, and a strikeout. Swings and chops this one to the second baseman. Abaga tags the runner for 1, goes to first base for 2, and he got it.
That is incredibly clutch for the Lumberjack side. That could have been an atrocious inning for him, but ultimately they get out of it with a double play, heads up by Abaga at second to tag the runner and then throw to first. Saved a run and saved even more potentially if that inning had gone worse. That is a great response to the Lumberjacks in what could have been a nightmare inning.
So the brains on Davon Abaga saves at least a couple runs for the Lumberjacks. They still surrender 1, though. We're going into the bottom of the first. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Hanson's Aggregate Field here at Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. Utica took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning, but now it's the Lumberjacks' turn at the plate. Davon Abaga, the second baseman who just turned that double play at the end of the last inning, at the plate now.
Yeah, Abaga, uncommitted, still looking for a home this fall and this spring. Originally was committed to play baseball at Seattle University, but spent this last school year training instead, and let's see how that work pays off in the summer.
Swings this one right to the shortstop, Flashner. Throw over to first is in time, and 1 pitch means 1 out for Austin Rhodes.
Up to bat for the Lumberjacks, number 7, Will Hill.
Will Hill, the Texas batter, at the plate now for Boonville.
Will Hill's Texas team just advanced to the regional, didn't have too much trouble given the teams they played in, but he, of course, redshirted, did not actually play for them this year. He's got all the cool gear, which he's bringing to Boonville. Everybody on the team is enjoying that so far, and I'm sure he's glad of the success that his team is having.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul. into the bullpen.
I think that's some firewood is what I heard right there. That bat cannot be used any longer.
Will Hill last game came out of the leadoff spot, batting second today, but had 4 at-bats, a double, an RBI, and 1 strikeout.
Utica taking the opportunity to chirp no matter what, even chirping the shattered bat right there. So if Boonville wants to win, they'll have to play the mental game, but might be getting to them early. Let's see how they respond.
After Hill, it'll be Ian Farber and then the catcher Michael Clarkson in the hole. Rhodes readies for the 0-1 pitch and fires that one outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Hill played for the Dillon's Dodgers out in Dallas-Fort Worth last summer for Collegiate League. Swings and chops this one foul again. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, Rhodes has a good pitch mix, at least 4 with a fastball, changeup, off speed, and then another off speed, whether it's a curveball or a slider. I expect him to show all 4 today.
Yeah, Rhodes listed 6'3", as this one is hit into right field, going back on it, but missing it is the right fielder, and Will Hill's going to be in with a double. A stand-up double for Will Hill, and Boonville, for the second game in a row, Will Hill's got a double.
Yeah, Hanson Aggregates Field is actually located at the bottom of a mountain, folks, and what that means is that the sun is still shining in right field. In right field is Jack Sweeney out of Rutgers, clearly just lost the ball in the sun right there. It would have been a tough play no matter what, but that's how Will Hill was able to advance to second on a little bit of a misplay in the outfield.
It's the extra hitter Ian Farber at the plate now, one of the more premier power hitters on this team, with an opportunity to knock one in the bottom of the first. Swings and misses on that one, 0-1.
Yeah, blew the fastball by him. Farber, a guy who in batting practice was kind of treating it like the home run derby. It's not easy to get one out here at Hanson Aggregates at Robert Smith, but with the 12-foot walls, he still got a few out. Wind not too much of a factor today, as it has been in past games.
Here's the 0-1, taken inside for strike 2.
Yeah, nice bit of a frame job by the catcher, Ian Wirtz there. I could have been called a strike either way, but when you sell it like that, you'll get that call every time. So good job by the backstop.
Farber down 0-2, tries to avoid the strikeout as that one down low for ball 1.
Farber is the extra hitter, which is specific to the PGCBL, the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, that allows each team to have 10 hitters in the lineup instead of 9. Farber is the 10th today while batting third.
Here's the 1-2. And swing and a miss. Farber strikes out. And a 4-pitch sequence for Rhodes gets 2 outs on the board. It's the catcher Michael Clarkson up now for Boonville.
Yeah, went with the off-speed stuff there after blowing the fastball by him, and it worked to perfection. Farber just a little bit out front on that one. Even if he did make contact, it likely would have been some pretty weak contact. So Austin Rhodes, despite giving up the hit early, is hoping to get settled in.
Swing and a miss from the JUCO sophomore, 0-1 the count.
And Evan, you mentioned a lot, swing and a miss. That is one thing that the Lumberjacks are really trying to cut down on. I mentioned it before, 26 in the first 2 games. That's damn near a full game of just strikeouts. Half of them looking, half of them swinging. Not a trend they want to continue.
That one down low in the dirt, 1-1 the count. And that's when we talked to Christian Griffin pregame, that was his main takeaway, is that the strikeouts need to go. When you're putting men on, like Will Hill had a double last time out and he didn't come around to score, it's the strikeouts that are killing you. You can't advance the runners.
Yeah, Clarkson has been a strikeout victim a few times. He actually leads the team in strikeouts with 4 so far.
Hits this one into the gap, and that's going to get down at the wall, and an RBI double. Michael Clarkson running around second. He's in there. Ball gets past the shortstop. And a quick RBI double. Michael Clarkson ties this game up at 1.
Yeah, Lumberjacks giving what the pitcher Austin Rhodes, or taking, what the pitcher Austin Rhodes gives them. If he's going to go throw you a fastball on the outside part of the plate, don't try and do too much. Just take it where where it lands, and that one lands in right field. Still battling with the sun in right field is Jack Sweeney. So two clutch doubles help the Lumberjacks tie it up here in the bottom of the first.
Tanner Ferguson, the DH at the plate now, and he's been the hottest batter so far this year for the Lumberjacks. Leads the team with 4 hits, is tied for the lead in RBIs with 3. Batting with a runner on second here, RBI opportunity. Takes that one for strike number 1. Yeah,
he's been the most consistent hitter on the team so far. We asked Coach Christian, why not move him up before 5? And he said he likes hitting in 5. That's where he's comfortable, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So a good RBI opportunity for him here would be a clutch spot to drive in one more.
Here's the 0-1. Just misses the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Tanner Ferguson last game only had 2 at-bats, 1 hit, 1 RBI off of a sacrifice fly and a hit by pitch. Clarkson gets a big lead off second as this one is fouled back towards the bullpen. Hits off the roof of Mom's Kitchen and falls back down.
Yeah, so it is the case here at Hanson Aggregates at Robert Smith that if you get a foul ball towards you, you can exchange it for some candy, I believe.
That's right.
At the concession stand. So the little kids here at the ballpark will be chasing down every last one.
That one in the dirt and up, and Clarkson's going to go to third. He'll be in there standing off of a wild pitch by Rhodes. And with 2 outs, 2-2 the count, runner on third. Ferguson's got another opportunity for an RBI.
Yeah, Ferguson, not the fastest guy on the team, but if he just pokes one in the infield, he might be able to beat one out for a run. And with 2 outs, a fly ball won't get the job done. He's trying to get one in play for a single at least.
Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swung on and hit just over the first baseman's head. Hits on the line, and that one is fair. Tanner Ferguson rounds first for second. And a third straight double in this inning. This time it's Tanner Ferguson who takes the lead in team RBIs.
Yeah, keep hitting the ball to right field, and if that's what you're given, keep on taking it. That one, I believe, hit me chalk on the first base line, rather. So 3 doubles, keep them moving, keep them coming around the bases, and the Lumberjacks now have the lead here in the bottom of the first.
RJ Lopez, the first baseman at the plate now. First game for him this year. Swings and chops this one over the shortstop's head, and it's another hit. RJ Lopez with the single. They're sending Ferguson home, and he will be in there standing. A 3-run bottom of the first by Boonville off of the 2-out rally, and it's 3-1 all of a sudden.
Yeah, RJ Lopez, it's his first at-bat here with the Lumberjacks. Just got in yesterday. He was a dog at Wabash Valley College, was playing in the JUCO World Series the other day, put up some incredible numbers there, and early contributions to the Lumberjacks. I'm sure those will be enjoyed.
Shortstop Elijah Negron at the plate now, out of University of Maryland East Shore. This one in the dirt, ball 1. And that was one good thing about the couple days off, you know, not having to play baseball, but also RJ Lopez and another one of the pitchers for this team, Jackson Baptist, coming onto this team. They got a couple days to kind of mesh with the group and kind of get integrated.
Yeah, Christian Griffin had Lopez hitting 6th as that one comes back towards us because he wanted him to prove himself. Now, he knew that this is going to be one of the best hitters on the team since the day he got here, but he wanted him to, prove it a little bit in the first game, so RJ Lopez possibly making a case to be moved further up in the lineup.
Had very good numbers at Wabash this year. One of the best hitters, I'd say, in this lineup, as this one is hit foul again for strike 2. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, I mean, if you look back at just, the first 5 minutes of this game, I'm sure this is not the result you would be thinking. Of course, it's still early. I don't even want to call 3-1 a lead, but this could have been a lot worse for the Lumberjacks with the bases loaded, 12 straight balls. And, I mean, for it to be 1-3 with a runner on for the Lumberjacks here in this instance, incredibly successful first given the circumstances that they had. And I'm sure Colin Glenn appreciates it, going out there with some insurance. Maybe that's what he needs to settle down and complete the rest of his game.
Here comes the 1-2. Inside for ball 2. And another good thing about having a long inning like this is your pitcher, who kind of went out there and didn't have a great first inning, he's got some time to calm down, get his thoughts collected, and maybe have a better second.
Yeah, the Utica Blue Sox, no hate to them. They were chirping him. He deserves it if you're going to throw 12 straight balls.
This one chopped to the shortstop. Flashner goes to second for 1, and Frey squeezes it for the out, but not before Boonville can put 3 up on the board. 3-1 the score. Lumberjacks going into the top of the second. We'll be right back on the Lumberjack Sports Network after this short break. Welcome back to Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. Boonville with a 3-run bottom of the first, and it's Colin Glenn back out on the mound for the Lumberjacks. That one outside for ball number 1.
Yeah, didn't miss that one bad, but yeah, if you joined us for the top of the first, you saw that he struggled a little bit, got slightly bailed out by a double play, but I'm sure he's appreciative of it. But Evan, what does he have to do to settle down this inning?
Oh, he's just got to throw some strikes. I mean, that was his Achilles heel, as that one flashes up high for some chin music, 2-0 the count. I mean, that was the thing that got him down. He loaded the bases without throwing a strike. If he can just fill up the zone, I think that's going to be his key to go forward.
Yeah, he's got a solid 9 behind him, and that's one thing that Coach Christian Griffin stresses is let him put the ball in play, obviously search for weak contact, but if you're going to throw it over the plate, otherwise you're just going to walk them. So throw it over the plate, see what they can do. If they beat you, they beat you. It happens. It's part of baseball, but trust your infielders, trust the guys behind you, and just attack the strike zone and see what you can do.
Well, no strikes so far in this inning for Glenn. 3-0 the count on the extra hitter, Robbie Carvelli. That one inside, and a 4-pitch walk for Carvelli, the 4th today from Colin Glenn, and a man on first with no outs for the Blue Sox.
Yeah, Colin Glenn, a guy that previously played at Kansas Wesleyan, then transferred to Bryan Stratton, is currently looking for a home this fall as well as this spring, and he's still trying to generate some swings and misses, but the way to do that is by getting it over the plate. So one thing he's still struggling a little bit. Let's see if he can settle down from here on out.
Designated hitter Connor McCartney at the plate now, watches that one go inside for a strike.
One thing that we saw in Colin Glenn's last outing is he was okay, actually, the last time he pitched against the Oneonta Outlaws, but one thing that was happening is his hat kept falling off. He told us pregame that he got a haircut, and that should help him today, as it should stay a little bit on, and it has so far. He's yet to fall off.
That one inside for ball 1, 1-1 the count. And, you got to go down there and talk to Colin Glenn. I know you've been talking to me about getting a haircut for quite a while. Got to see where he got his.
No, absolutely. I actually intend on doing that. I trust the Boonville barbers. I'm sure they'll get me right. So, I'm excited to explore more of this town, and getting a haircut is part of the itinerary.
Here's the 1-1 outside for ball number 2. And Colin Glenn looked like he had a fresh cut, I would say, pregame. Looked pretty good to me.
Does it help him throw strikes, though?
Oh, I would think it'd be a distraction with your hat falling off every pitch. I mean, certainly he's looked better on this inning. Here's the 2-1. Up high for a ball, 3-1 the count.
Still no movement from the Boonville bullpen. They really need 4 out of Glenn. And it's kind of funny looking at the scoreboard. Colin Glenn is technically no-hitter. Hasn't allowed a hit yet. Has allowed 5 base runners, however, but still on no-hitter watch.
That one inside for a strike, full count. Connor McCartney has only played once this year. It was against Glen Falls on May 31st. He had 5 at-bats, 2 hits, and 3 RBIs, but 2 strikeouts to go along with it. Runner goes as this one fouled back behind the plate.
Yeah, McCartney, one thing about him, just a little fun fact, he's pretty good at ping pong, actually. I found that on his page, and it seems that it's one of his talents when he's not playing on the diamond. So I'm not sure how much it translates to his swing, but anything to get a little extra competitive edge, I'd say.
Well, he faces the 7th pitch of this at-bat, still a full count. Here's the pitch from Glenn, and that one way up high. And 2 runners on with no outs for the Blue Sox off of 2 walks.
I feel like I'm getting deja
Number
vu.
1, Connor Jones.
Reminiscent of the top of the first where it was 2 early walks. Granted, a few more strikes thrown this time, but again, after getting blessed with the inning like you were in the top of the first and the hitters on the bottom of the first, you don't want to reverse all that damage here in the top of the second.
Connor Jones, the center fielder, stands in now. That one almost hits him in the head, has to duck away from it, and 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Cerrone, not the biggest fan of that. Kind of stares back at Glenn, of course. No intent. You're not trying to hit a guy while you barely have a lead with 2 runners on already. But I'm sure they don't like getting pitched inside like they have been.
Well, this one, expect it to get chippy somewhere down the line. As this one above the head again, and Connor Jones stares down Colin Glenn. And it seems to me that no matter the players, the coaches, or anything around here, it's always going to be a chippy matchup, Utica against Boonville.
Yeah, Utica chirping early, but again, there's no you can't blame them there. It is a chirp to chirp the other team when they can't throw a strike. You know, could have expected the ball 5, ball 6, ball 7 chant. Of course, that hasn't come out. But when you keep throwing in and near the head, they're bound to get upset by that, even if it's not intentional.
Another mound visit by Clarkson, hoping to settle his pitcher down. That one above the head once again. Check back to second is not in time. Abaga just rushes in to get it back to the pitcher.
At danger of walking the bases loaded yet again.
So 1 pitch away from the same outcome that we had in the first inning. Here's the 3-0 from Colin Glenn. And that one right down the middle for strike number 1.
Yeah, Connor Jones taking all the way right there. That did not move his shoulder, and why would it when you're struggling to throw strikes? But now it's a plus count for Jones and a good RBI opportunity for Utica to get themselves back in the game.
This one chopped into left field. Pulling up on it is Haig and getting it in quickly. So the single does not get any RBIs for Utica, but Connor Jones loads the bases again for the 2nd time in 2 innings.
Yeah, gave him his 3-1 fastball. That's pretty much the only pitch you can throw there, and of course Connor Jones was ready for it. Nice line drive action in the left field. Harrison Haig almost had a play on it, had to pull up. Hit too hard that no runner was able to advance, so the bases stay loaded, but still no outs here for the Lumberjacks.
So the first hit of the day for Colin Glenn, that no-hitter that you mentioned, is now gone.
Wouldn't have been the strongest no-hitter.
Left fielder Christian Cerrone stands in as that one at the head yet again from Glenn.
In the last game played at Hanson Aggregates Field here, the bases were loaded for the opposing team, and that ball was sent pretty deep into the trees. So Lumberjacks looking to avoid that repeat outcome here and hopefully get a double play if possible. Corners are in, as you can see.
1-0 on Christian Cerrone. Here it comes. In there for strike 1. And finally, some movement out of the Boonville bullpen. Looks like both teams have someone throwing, but more of an urgent warm-up coming from the Lumberjacks side.
Yeah, can't let this game go ugly. You know, you hope he can get 4 innings, but if he can't, that's part of baseball. Sometimes you go out there and don't have your best performance. Got to be ready to adapt no matter what.
And that one hits Cerrone. More screams from the Utica bullpen, but more importantly, another run on the board. For the second time today, Colin Glenn hits a batter to send one home.
Yeah, that's the second run of the game for Utica, and both have been scored the exact same way. A hit by pitch to drive in a run. I mean, hey, a run is a run in my opinion, but, you know, there might be a less painful way to do it.
Shortstop Michael Flashner at the plate now, batted last inning and was, of course, walked.
Yeah, Flashner, a guy who you don't want to get on because for multiple reasons, and one of them is that he had 17 stolen bases last year for the College of Staten Island. You know, not too much.
That one in there for strike one.
Not too many places to run when the bases are loaded, but a hit, and he could easily go from first to third or first to home, depending on where it lands.
Still no outs in this inning from the Lumberjacks. Colin Glenn has walked or hit every batter that he's faced in this inning. That one way outside for ball one.
Yeah, when you put it like that, that's not exactly a successful inning here in the top of the second. Walked or hit. Yeah, Colin Glenn needs to settle down a little bit. He got the double play luck last time. Going to have to push through it a little more. He gave him a hit. Wasn't only walks and hit by pitches, but not much of a better outcome right there.
That one outside as well. 2-1 the count, and Glenn just really cannot find the zone. I mean, his only other appearance was the last game against Oneonta, which was a scoreless inning from Glenn, but at the college levels, he's struggled a little bit as well. 16.2 ERA at the college level. As that 2-1 is way in the dirt, pulled up about 3 feet short of the plate. At the collegiate level, 5 appearances as a sophomore, 8.1 innings pitched for that 16.2 ERA with 15 hits allowed, 3 of them being homers. And we saw a grand slam in the last game, not what you want if you're on the Boonville side of things. As that one down low and ball 4 yet again. So another run walked in by Glenn, and he's not even making him work for it.
Up to bat for Utica.
No, not doing his best out there, and Coach Christian Griffin might be thinking about a potential mound visit. Not yet. He wants to give him at least one more. He'll give him Caden Frey, the second baseman from Purdue, at least. But, man, there's still no outs in this inning, so that's why I wanted to preface in the bottom of the first that a 3-1 lead, I wouldn't really call that much of a lead. Anything can happen, and it seems that the Lumberjacks' worst fear is coming true right here, and that a lot of runs could quickly cross the board unless Glenn is able to buckle down and get a few outs.
Second baseman Caden Frey at the plate now, walked in his first plate appearance. That one over the middle for a strike, off speed in there.
Yeah, Glenn, a guy, 2-pitch mix, fastball, slider. I believe is working on a changeup. Not sure how often he throws it in game there, but he might have to go to the slider if the fastball isn't working. And the one fastball that came over the plate was lined to left for a hit.
Down in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, so as we're saying, goes right back to the slider right there, that one in the dirt. So just looking for a dependable pitch to throw to a strike, has been struggling to do that early. Utica, a team full of great hitters, but haven't had to put it on display yet as they've been getting free 90s everywhere.
Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and chopped to third base, but under the glove of Swangham, and 2 runs score for Utica. What was a 3-1 lead for Boonville is now quickly turned into a 5-3 deficit, and there still are no outs in this second inning.
Yeah, that's kind of what we talk about, is put the ball in play, see what happens. That one hit pretty hard to the shortstop, swinging him a tough play going to the back of the hand. We'll see if they'll call that a hit. They do. They'll call that a hit for Frey. And, well, now you're in a slightly better situation with runners on, but, I mean, now you've allowed 4 in the top of the second, so still not ideal for the Lumberjacks.
That one inside on the batter for Utica, Ian Wirtz, the catcher, another person who walked in his first plate appearance.
The inning began with Robbie Carvelli, so Utica isn't too far away from batting around here in the top of the second.
Runner almost goes from second, but pulls up. Glenn throws that one in the dirt, and 2-0 the count. And kind of a symptom of having not a lot of arms to start the season is having a bullpen game like this, where maybe you have a guy that hasn't started a lot of games in his career, as this pitch almost hits Wirtz in the head again. 3-0 the count. Then we've seen that kind of go against them a lot to start the season. There have been a lot of guys that have had to eat innings, especially late in games, and it's cost them a lot. But to start a game like this, just to get off on the wrong foot is terrible.
Yeah, and one thing they've struggled with has been hitting so far. So when you get a good inning like they did in the bottom of the first, where there was good contact, hard contact, runners moving around, extra base hits, you're going to want to capitalize on that. But as you can see, just Lumberjacks are unable to do so.
Wirtz takes a strike right down the middle on 3-0. Both runners go. This one popped up behind the plate, and it will get out of play. So the count, not sure what happened there.
I think they're calling that catcher's interference, I believe, is the call right there.
Up to bat.
Just nothing going right for the Lumberjacks so far.
Xavier Smith.
So Wirtz gets on the interference, catcher on catcher crime right there. It'll be the third baseman Xavier Smith at the plate now for Utica.
Back to bases loaded, no outs.
This one hits him, and it's a nightmare for Colin Glenn. Another one where he's hit a batter. Third one today where a run has scored, and that might be the end of his day.
Yeah, you know, I can say I've been there before. I used to pitch, and sometimes you just can't get one over the plate, and when you do, it gets hit. So not his best outing. He knows that for sure, but you know, let's see if the rest of this game is salvageable. Looks like they're going to bring in Biggerstaff, the lefty, to finish out this nightmare top of the second. But, I mean, he's got teammates to pick him up. You know, it happens sometimes. Sometimes you don't have your best outing. You get shelled. But now it depends on what Biggerstaff, the new arm, can do for the Lumberjacks.
Well, we'll see what he can do on the other side of the break. It's 5-3, 6-3, excuse me. Lumberjacks trailing by 3 at the top of the second inning. We'll be right back on the Lumberjack Sports Network. Welcome back to Hanson Aggregates Field. Colin Glenn out of this game after just 1 inning pitched, and it's Spencer Biggerstaff in the game now. Brady, what do you know about the big lefty?
Yeah, it comes out of Oklahoma City University. That's a JUCO. He allowed a 10.38 ERA last year. Is the only lefty on the team, currently a junior. He's a rising senior. Last year finished up 10.38 ERA, pitched a total of 17 1/3 innings, so hopefully he can eat some innings here for the Lumberjacks.
That one outside for another ball. 2-1 the count. It's Jack Sweeney, the right fielder, at the plate for Utica. Hit by pitch in his last at-bat as he hits this one into center field. Will Hill ranging in on it. And a sliding catch made by Lassiter. He gets it in, not before a run can score, but a significant sliding catch right there by Wyatt Lassiter and saves a couple runs.
Yeah, that was a very nice catch. He had to move pretty far to his right, had to slide ultimately, but hey, you'll take that in a situation like that where runs are bound to score almost anyway. So to get up one there and to get an out while you're at it, I'm sure he'll take that for sure.
Alex Jacob, the first baseman, switch hitter, who throws lefty at the dish now. That one in there for strike one. So with that run scored, that run will go on Colin Glenn's tally. Final line for him, 1 inning pitched, 2 hits allowed, 7 runs on 6 walks and 1 strikeout. Both runners go inside for a strike. Throw down by Clarkson is into center field, and another run scores for Utica. 8-3 the score, and make that 8 runs earned on Colin Glenn.
Yeah, and he's still responsible for the runner on second as well, and I'm just not sure why you throw to second right there. They would have had a chance at third, but throw to second instead. I don't know if Abaga saw it, was ready for it, was expecting a fake throw, or whatever the reason was. That ball went sailing into center field, and just nothing is going right for the Lumberjacks so far.
That one above the head of Jacob for ball number 2.
Yeah, that one near his head as well. Lumberjacks pitching up and in, of course, not on purpose, but seems like they're just struggling to find the zone, but not hitting the spots they need to be hitting.
This one hit to the left fielder, Haig. He gets under it and drops it. A drop by Harrison Haig means the inning will not end. So 1 out, runners on the corners, and the nightmare just doesn't seem to stop for Boonville.
Yeah, there is a Little League game being played behind this field. If you could have told me the Little League game was right in front of me, I would have believed you. This is not what the Lumberjacks want here in the top of the second.
So the error on Haig, his first game of the year, and not how you want to start it, hasn't even gotten to the plate yet. And we're already 45 minutes away from first pitch. As Biggerstaff sends that one in for ball number 1, it's the extra hitter Robbie Carvelli at the plate now.
Yeah, that's a pretty ugly 7th spot here in the top of the second, and one thing you'll notice is that Utica has 2 hits in the game. 8 runs off of 2 hits. This has absolutely been unforced errors all game long for the Lumberjacks. And, if you told me before that they had 2 days of rest before this game, I'm not sure I would believe you, because there seems to be nothing going right except for the bats, ironically.
That one up high for ball number 2, 2-1 the count. Carvelli was the first batter in this second inning. Utica already batted around with only 1 out on the board, as that one outside for ball 3. And it really just seems like nothing is going in Boonville's direction right now.
No, that's been apparent since the top of the second, where they got a little bit of luck in the top of the first, and the bats got going in the bottom, but the bats will have to work a lot to kind of reset the damage done here in the top of the second. And honestly, with what I've seen displayed from the Lumberjacks so far, I'm not sure that's something they have in them. Again, it's still early in the game, of course, but both teams get a chance to hit and both teams get a chance to add more runs. The Lumberjacks have to play perfect baseball from here on out if they want to have a competitive chance in this game.
So a walk there on Carvelli means the bases are loaded for the umpteenth time today. It's Connor McCartney, the designated hitter, at the plate now.
Yeah, McCartney comes out of Millersville. So does his teammate Xavier Smith. Lots of duo pairs of schools on this Utica team, and it seems that they're bonding well, having a ton of fun today here in Boonville, New York.
Pitch from the lefty is inside for a ball. McCartney earlier in this inning walked and would score a run.
As you can say for everyone else on the team.
Now already a combined 7 walks for the Boonville Lumberjacks as this one fouled back yet again.
I wonder if any of those kids in their Little League jerseys want to play 7 more innings, because if they could eat innings, the Lumberjacks could use them right now.
8-3 the score. Lumberjacks haven't even been to the dish twice tonight. And it seems the game has already swung in Utica's favor as that swing and a miss makes the count 1-2. You got to wonder what's going through the mind of all the other players that haven't even been involved yet.
You know, at this point, I just start chewing on my glove and waiting for a ball to get hit to me if that ever happens. I mean, you know, it's been a nightmare for the Lumberjacks, and, you know, we can't stress that enough.
That one in there for strike number 1, 0-1 the count. Swing and a ball foul. 0-2 the count now.
Well, we're close to getting out of this one. 2 outs and bases loaded. Connor Jones up. He singled his last at-bat. I'm sure he came around to score. He must have. And, you know, with the bases loaded, he was the one who was originally upset with the pitches up and in, and he wants some revenge. Now is a spot for him to do that.
And that one dropped in there for strike 3, and the inning finally comes to an end for the Lumberjacks. Spencer Biggerstaff gets him out of the jam, and the Lumberjacks with a tall task, a 5-run deficit going into the bottom of the second. We'll have that for you on the other side of the break on the Boonville Lumberjacks Sports Network.
Number 25.
Welcome back to Robert Smith Sports Complex. Lumberjacks with a tall task to face, a 5-run deficit in this game, and not really getting too much better as this one goes on. A blow-up 7-run top of the 7th, and they're chasing 5 at the plate now. That one outside on the designated hitter for the Lumberjacks, Wyatt Lassiter. Right fielder, excuse me.
Yeah, Lassiter has been a pretty consistent hitter so far for the Lumberjacks. I remember he had a triple in the first game to start the season, and he just does a good job drawing walks thus far.
Had 2 hits as well. Last game was caught stealing and grounded into a double play. Swings and fouls this one towards us. So 2-1 the count now.
Pretty good turnout here at Hanson Aggregates so far.
Lassiter awaits the 2-1 delivery, swings and hits this one up the middle, and the shortstop Flashter cannot get to it. It's a single for Wyatt Lassiter, and he keeps the 3-game hit streak alive.
Up to bat
Yeah,
for the
Lasso's been
Lumberjacks,
incredibly
number
consistent so
18,
far throughout the
Harrison
season, and
Hay.
well, that's exactly what the Lumberjacks need, just any type of sign of life from their side of the ballpark. And a single, I mean, he'll take that every time. That one, good piece of hitting right up the middle, and now let's see what Harrison Hay can do in his first at-bat.
Haig, this is his first game of the year out of Essendon, Australia, as he watches that one inside for strike one. Unfortunately committed that error last inning to keep the inning alive, but we've seen a lot out of him positive in practice.
Yeah, that error is pretty unorthodox. I guess just maybe the lights were too bright or for whatever reason.
Swings and misses on that offering.
For whatever reason, wasn't able to make a play on it. But, you know, sometimes, again, that happens. Just anything that can be going wrong for the Lumberjacks thus far is going wrong. So, you know, take today with a grain of salt, pretty much. Goldfish memory, as they say.
This one hit over the shortstop's head, and a second straight single for the Lumberjacks. Lassiter pulls up on second, and it's first and second. Still no outs for Boonville.
Yeah, this is pretty ironic for the Lumberjacks so far. I mean, usually the bats do not come alive. 6 hits in 2 innings is practically unheard of thus far early into the season, at least. So, I mean, if they want to play some competitive baseball, the pitchers have to get the memo too.
Third baseman Zeb Swangham at the plate now. Another debutant for the Lumberjacks. This is his first game of the year out of the University of North Carolina, Asheville, Division I school. First pitch on him is inside for a strike.
Yeah, they have big hopes for Zeb. He's, you know, another one of the D1 guys that they're grabbing. He started 41 out of 46 that he played last season at Asheville, scored 22 runs total with 32 hits. So pretty good hitter. I mean, it's interesting he's hitting so late in the lineup, but I mean, here he has 2 runners on, good opportunity to drive one in.
Swings and hits this one right to the second baseman, over to 2 for 1, and no throw for the double play, so a fielder's choice means that Haig will be off the base paths, but runners at the corners, just 1 out for the leadoff man, Devon Abaga.
Now we're back at the top of the lineup. It's going to be Devon Abaga, so he's shown lots of pop in practice. He's a pretty good barrel hitter, line drive hitter as well, and a really speedy guy too. So even with their infielders, middle infielders at least, in double play position, he's looking to drive at least 1 in here if possible.
Abaga hits this one deep to left field. Cerrone is under it and gets it. Tagging from third is Lassiter, and he is out at the plate. A beautiful throw from Cerrone out and left kills the Lumberjacks' hopes, and they fail to plate any runs in an inning where they had 2 straight hits at the start. Another crusher for Boonville means that score remains 8-3. Boonville trailing by 5 runs. We'll have the top of the third here for you on the Lumberjack Sports Network right after this break.
Number 4, Christian Cerrone.
Back at Hanson Aggregates Field, we're still in the third inning here. Oh, almost an hour after first pitch, as that one is down low for ball 1. Utica with the 8-3 lead after a blow-up 7-run second inning from the Lumberjacks and Colin Glenn. And back at the plate with another opportunity for more. Cerrone bunts this one down, picked up and thrown to first, and Swangam with the beautiful play. His first time out in the field is a good one.
Yes, Spencer Biggerstaff has come into the game, and, well, he walked one, but he's been pitching well thus far. And I guess they're trying to sneak one by him. Thought Zev Swangam at third was a little too far back, but he's showing you why he is a Division I infielder, and makes a great play on that, fires one over to first, and quick out for the Lumberjacks.
Michael Flashner, the shortstop, at the plate now. 2 walks for him today. He scored on both of those trips around the bases. Biggerstaff gets that one inside for strike 1. And something interesting about this, while it is a rivalry game, it doesn't really feel like it because the score is just so lopsided. There's really nothing to fight about.
Yeah, Joel Embiid said it best, actually, when he was talking about the Boston Celtics rivalry that they had, and he said, it is not a rivalry. They always kick our word that I can't say live. And, well, it's only game 1 so far, but, you know, it's not that Utica has seriously outplayed the Lumberjacks, at least on the offensive side, but there is a big disparity in fielding and pitching as well. So the Lumberjacks want this to remain somewhat competitive. They'll have to bear down on the pitching side and keep their offensive prowess going.
Flashner checks his swing on that one. 2-2 the count as the sun is going down around Boonville, starting to get a little bit dark. This one swung, hit over the middle of the infield, and Negron cannot get to it. Will Hill picks it up in center, and it's a single for Michael Flashner.
Up to bat,
not the strongest
14,
contact, but Biggerstaff here's a guy who's throwing strikes, so you take what he can give you. That's an off-speed pitch and a little bit of a jam shot, but does its job, gets over the head of Negron. He's not able to get there at least, so just like that for the third straight inning, the Utica has their leadoff hitter on.
So Flashner on for the third time already today. That brings up the second baseman, Caden Frey.
Third time in 3 innings.
That one in there for a strike. It seems like most of the guys on this team have been up at least, well, everyone's been up twice. This is now the third trip around the order in the third inning, as that one's in there for strike 2.
Yeah, Lumberjacks need to hope that Michael Clarkson has a good arm behind the plate because, as I mentioned earlier, Flashner is a guy who is very likely to take off. I wouldn't be surprised if he does it, even with the lefty on the mound. This one swung and chopped foul. Well, Clarkson with an error already today, throwing a ball into center field, as well as the catcher's interference that cost the Lumberjacks what could have been an out on a 2-strike count. So not the strongest of games behind the dish from him. We've seen head coach Christian Griffin rotate his catchers pretty well so far to start the season, as this one hit to Swangam, bobbles it for a second, but throws over to first for 1. So the fielder's choice makes it 2 outs in the top of the third.
Number 61, Ian Burtz.
Yeah, nice play by Swangam. Wanted to get 2 there. I'm not even sure he could have. It's actually a good thing he just threw 1 there because, again, we mentioned it. Flashner is fast, and he can get to second pretty quickly, which is exactly what he does. Swangam with a dart throw over to first, and at least way to get 1 right there.
Verts, the catcher, takes inside for ball 1. And like I said, this is the third different catcher in 3 games for the Lumberjacks. In game 1, it was Jacob Young, who got hit in the hand and had to be removed. Game 2 was Seth Bischoff, and now it's Clarkson here in game 3 as this one is fouled back behind the plate. And what does that kind of say early about having a number of catching options, but having to use all of them as soon as the season starts?
Yeah, I was going to say they have a lot of catching options, but haven't found the one that they like yet. Not a lot of production coming behind the plate early so far, but you know, if Clarkson wants the job, today is the opportunity that you show that it is yours. But I mean, between Young, Bischoff, and Clarkson, it's been a struggle with the bats is what I've seen so far. Defensively, they all seem okay. Of course, Clarkson, made a mental error and threw the ball into center, but You know, it's too early in the season to tell who the starting backstop will be each day, and maybe it'll depend on the battery with the arm that's going that day.
That one up high for 3-1 to count. And Bischoff was good behind the dish yesterday, but 2 strikeouts and he reached on an error. No hits from him in yesterday's game. As the 3-1 is up high for ball 4 on Verts. And then opening day, you had Young behind the dish. He struck out, was hit by a pitch, and reached on an error. So none of your catchers outside of Clarkson have gotten a hit, but the defensive contribution not going to help him out going forward.
Yeah, and Clarkson's still struggling with the swings and misses so far. Currently leads the team in strikeouts, and something that he's hoping to change.
This one hit to Obaga, who squeezes it for out number 3. And the Lumberjacks, for the first time today, escape without a run scored. It's still 8-3. Boonville is chasing 5 on the other side of the break. They'll be batting in the bottom of the 3rd right here on the Lumberjack Sports Network. Welcome back to Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. It's 8-3. Utica on top. Still the starting pitcher, Austin Rhodes, out there for the Blue Sox. And it's Will Hill, the center fielder, tasked with getting the rally started. That one outside for ball 1. Hill doubled and came around to score in his first plate appearance. Second straight game with a double for the outfielder. Swings and hits this one to short. Flashner looks over and throws it in time, makes the play.
Yeah, Flashner, the shortstop out of the College of Staten Island. Portal opened yesterday. I'm not sure if he hopped in it or is thinking about it, but a very fluid fielder that could play some very competitive baseball if he wants to jump in.
Extra hitter Ian Farber stands at the plate now. Struck out swinging his first time up. That one thrown in there for a strike.
Yeah, Farber struck out. Just had a tough time against Rhodes. The lefty-lefty matchup wasn't really on anything. Swung behind the fastball and out in front of the off-speed. So he's going to want to change his approach a little bit here if he wants to get on base this time.
That one low for a ball. And Farber's been a little bit confusing in terms of his production this year. He's the only Boonville Lumberjack with a home run this year, but is also tied for the team lead in walks and strikeouts.
They call that a 3-outcome hitter.
Currently is batting under 200. Of course, the year has just started, so those numbers don't mean too much, but still would like a little bit more production from the extra hitter. That one down low for ball 2. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, Coach Christian Griffin wants them to win the plus counts, but in order to win those, you got to be in them to begin with. So, Lumberjacks' offensive struggles have been apparent to start the season, but again, it's just 2 games. You don't want to harp on them too early, but, if nothing else today, focus on that.
This one hit right to the first baseman, Jacob, and he tags first base for out number 2. Michael Clarkson, the catcher, now at the plate.
Michael Clarkson.
As the sun is setting here in Boonville, New York, about 4 hours away from us is New York City, where the New York Knicks are facing the Spurs. What do you think about that matchup, Evan?
I'm going for the Spurs. Yeah, I think Spurs in about 6 games, maybe 7, but I hope Wemby gets it done. As this one is popped up to the infield, it's Smith underneath it, makes the call and makes the out. And a 1-2-3 inning for the Lumberjacks. Nothing going for the second straight inning. Utica at the plate on the other side of the break. We'll have that and more for you on the Lumberjack Sports Network after this. Welcome back to Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. I'm Evan Simbita alongside Brady Foxwell. Utica jumping out to a quick 8-3 lead as that one outside for ball number 1. It's Jack Sweeney, the right fielder, at the plate. Hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance and sacrifice fly in his second, as that one's in there for strike 1.
Yeah, and Biggerstaff so far, of course, it's early, but he appears to be somewhat settling in here. And, he's actually allowed to give up a few runs if needed. He just has to eat some innings is the goal of his performance today.
This one hit into center Hill ranging in, but he won't get there in time. And a single for Jack Sweeney. He's on base
Up to bat number
for the
16,
second time today.
Alex Jacobs.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting there. Yeah, it plays deep to center, so Will Hill is backed up a little bit, but that one landed. I don't want to call that no man's land. It's a clear single. There is no miscommunication there, but just a little soft liner into center. Does the job every time. That's 4 straight with the runner on.
Runner goes, but no throw from Clarkson. Already 1 error from him behind the dish today. So a stolen base for Sweeney means runner in scoring position. Still no outs in this one. That one down low for ball 2. 2-0 the count.
Yes, the Lumberjacks obviously not winning the pitching game. Let's call it even in the hitting game, literally, with how you're hitting the ball. But obviously the Utica Blue Sox do a better job drawing walks. And the mental game, I think, is where they're losing the most right now, actually. It's still the pitching side, of course. But, with Utica all smiles and happy in the dugout, the Lumberjacks, they had a 3-1 lead at some point. Of course, in the first inning, you don't want to get too focused on what your lead is there, but
appeal over to second, and they'll say he went around. 2-1 the count.
But to start the game, the Blue Sox were literally cheering for your pitcher to throw a strike and to respond in the fashion that you do, that you put up a 3 spot in the first and give it all away. Just not very competitive baseball.
Yeah, we spoke to head coach Christian Griffin before the game, and he told us that the biggest focus was by far on the league-leading 26 strikeouts, most strikeouts per game in the PGCBL, as this one grounded and off the glove, picked up by Abaga, and Biggerstaff covering the heads-up play, saves an error away from Lopez.
Yeah, Argenis Lopez has to go to his backhand there. That's a tough play. I know that feeling. Goes off his glove, but Abaga, that's just very heads up to go and back him up no matter what. That's what you're told in Little League, and that extends here to the PGCBL, where back up every throw, back up every play, and that's what he does right there. Heads up for Biggerstaff to come over and cover no matter what, and that very easily, with how the game could have been going, could have been just an E3.
This one fouled back towards the broadcast booth. 0-1 the count on Robbie Carvelli, the extra hitter.
That's the second nice play that Abaga has made at second. It's early in the season, but I imagine that he'll be starting just about every game that he's not pitching.
That one outside for ball 2. And Abaga, we see him every day in practice go out there, and he's got one of the smoothest transitions from glove to hand that we see out in the middle infield.
Undoubtedly. He will be playing Division I baseball this fall no matter what. And the cool thing about him, he's got his own little YouTube channel. We've seen it. We've been a part of it thus far. It's called Devo Day for anyone interested. He goes around, vlogs game day, vlogs practices, brings a joy to the team. And, for whatever he does on the field, he's just as amazing off the field. I can't speak enough to how much fun it is having Davon Abaga on the team.
Robbie Carvelli fouls that one back. 2-2 the count.
Except for the one time he hits you with a baseball.
Yes, that's right. First game opening day at Mohawk Valley. We were sitting behind the bullpen, and he accidentally threw it over the netting and straight onto my calf. That one stung a little bit, I won't lie. 2-2 is chopped to the third baseman, looks the runner back and throws over to first. No play at the plate means 2 outs for Spencer Biggerstaff. And a properly executed play there by Zeb Swangham.
Yeah, Tanner Ferguson is started at third the first 2 days. He's getting the fielding day off. He's still in the lineup, of course, but it's nice having Swangham there at third. He's been fantastic despite a little tough play that they ultimately ruled a hit to his backhand, but every ball that's hit to him has been pretty much assuredly an out so far.
This one swung and hit right back to Abaga, waits for it, throws over to first, and the throw is in time. So a third straight scoreless half inning by both of these teams, locked at a stalemate. It's 8-3, Utica still on top. We'll have the bottom of the fourth on the other side of this break. It's still Utica 8, Boonville 3.
Number 20.
Welcome back to
Ferguson.
Dr. Robert Smith Sports Complex. Utica still on top, 8-3, and a new arm on the mound. Brady, what do you know about him?
Yeah, it's Hunter Harmon wearing 96, pretty unorthodox number we see in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Pitches for Mohawk Valley Community College, and well, the last guy was a lefty. Here's a righty to kind of throw him off a little bit. We'll see what he has. Got 5 runs of insurance, and he's got that weird delivery, as you'll see. I don't want to call it 3/4, don't want to call it sidearm earlier. Folks at home, you look closely, you'll see the delivery, and I mean, might mess up the Lumberjacks, who have had a decent hitting day thus far.
This one chopped by Ferguson right to the pitcher, fumbles it for a second, but throws over to first for the easy out, and one gone in the bottom of the 4th.
Up to bat, number 21, Argenis Lopez.
It's the newcomer R.J. Lopez at the plate now, singled for an RBI in his first plate appearance. That one in there for strike 1.
Yeah, Lopez obviously is not phased by any JUCO arm. He just finished up the JUCO World Series, hit .368 with a .446 on-base percentage. Add 4 jacks to that with 28 RBIs. Is an uncommitted sophomore as we speak. Probably going to play some high-level baseball somewhere. And I mean, I wish I had his height and weight, because this dude is a tank in front of me.
6'3", 205, what he's listed at, as that one in there for strike 2. One of the better players on that Wabash Valley team that ended up making it all the way to the JUCO World Series. .378 average, 31 hits, 4 of them homers. As this one hit into right field, ranging back on it is Sweeney at the track and makes the grab. And 2 down already in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, you know, I actually just said it about he looks like a tank. Might have to get right back in the weight room one more time. That one sent it all the way to the warning track and right. It's quite a poke to get it out there, but might have had to hit it a little 20 feet further to get it over that tall fence, but didn't miss that one by much.
Elijah Negron, the shortstop, stands in from the right side, watches that sidearm delivery go over the plate and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Negron, one thing I can say about him, all smiles. Everywhere I go, he's always smiling, and just, I'm a fan of his game. I talked to him a little bit about his college experience and how he played for a team that lost every game.
As this one's hit into center, under it is Jones, and making the catch for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Boonville. They've been shut out since the bottom of the 1st, and we go to the top of the 5th. Utica still on top, 8-3. We'll be right back on the Lumberjacks Sports Network.
Number 1.
Welcome back to
Connor
Dr. Robert
Jones.
Smith Sports Complex. Boonville still struggling, but with a new man on the mound. It's Lo Wen-Shing, who fires that one in the dirt for ball number 1. And Brady, this is one of the most fun pitchers to talk about on this team.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, we got to give credit to Spencer Biggerstaff, who absolutely did his job. He came in with the bases loaded and no outs, got out of it with only giving up 2. None of his were his fault. And then shut him out for 2 more on top of that. So honestly, I'm questioning a little bit why the pull. Maybe his arm's not ready for it. That's a conversation we'll have with Coach later. But no, here's Lo Wen-Shing. I like everything about him. Super fun guy, all smiles. Earlier today, he was learning the difference between football and American football. He's still a little confused, but he's got the spirit. He is, of course, from Taiwan. I caught up with him the other day and wanted to get to know him a little bit because I don't know anything about him, nor does anyone else. And he was recruited through the GM of the Boonville Lumberjacks, Butch Rousseau, and it didn't take much to convince him to play here. 2 years ago, they had 2 Taiwanese players who came to play here as well, and that's all it took. They said they enjoyed it, so he figured he would try his luck in Boonville, New York, and thus far, he says he's been enjoying it, plays baseball for about 10 years now, and he studies physical education, which is a little fun fact he threw in for me. So I like him. Sets about 90-something, and, working too early. Pretty good stuff.
As that one down low, count runs full.
And if he wants to play baseball in America, there are countless opportunities. I would love to have him in there for starters for his pitching ability, too, because he's a fun guy in the clubhouse. Still working on that spiral, though. He couldn't quite throw a football. He can throw a baseball as hard as anyone else, but still working on the spiral.
Here's the payoff pitch from Wen-Shing. Down low, and he walks the first batter he faces. Connor Jones, the 9-hole hitter, is on, and that means it's Christian Cerrone, the left fielder.
Yeah, so that's 5 straight innings with the first runner getting on. 4 by walk, 1 by hit. Excuse me, no it's not. That's 4 out of 5, rather. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That's 4 out of 5 where the first batter gets on. 3 by walk, 1 by hit, here by walk. And Jones, a guy who could definitely take off as he does right now.
Runner goes, throw is not in time, collected way in front of the plate by Abaga, and it has not been the strongest day from Clarkson behind the dish.
Yeah, well, right there, he really had no chance. Connor Jones, I guess, got a pretty good read on Lo Wen-Shing, took off even before he left his delivery. So right there, really had no chance. But Lo Wen-Shing, that's one thing. He's got to check on the runner a bit more than he does.
Cerrone hit by a pitch and grounded out in 2 plate appearances today. That one in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Wen-Shing has only had 1 previous appearance so far this year. It was opening day against Mohawk Valley. He had 2.1 innings pitched where he faced 14 batters, allowed 5 runs, only 3 of them were earned, and had 1 strikeout. That one high for ball number 3.
Yeah, it was the command that got to him. You see he walks the first batter. Connor Jones here is down 3-0 to Christian Cerrone, as you can see. That's one thing he's still working on in bullpens, and that's one thing they have him focusing on. His stuff is nasty. It's gross, really. His fastball is plus, his slider is plus as well. Changeup, you can throw it in there, too. Only thing is, in-game situations, struggles a little bit to find the strike zone.
That one down low, and a 4-pitch walk from Wen-Shing means it's runners on first and second. No outs in this top of the 5th inning.
Number 5, Michael Flashner.
Yeah, Clarkson's going to want to talk to him for a second before things get ugly here in the top of the 5th with 2 on quickly. Not a great sign for the Lumberjacks.
And this is already mound visit number 4. We're in the 5th inning, and kind of shows the struggles that the Boonville pitchers have had today.
Yeah, they need people who can eat innings. That's what Biggerstaff was doing. Again, I'm sure Coach Christian Griffin had his reasons for pulling him out of the game there, but, I mean, it seemed like he was settling in pretty nicely.
Final line on Biggerstaff, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed and 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, allowed 3 runs, but none of them earned. Those were all Colin Glenn's responsibility. So a solid outing from the debutant. Both runners go as he shows bunt. Throw is not in time, and a double steal is good from the Blue Sox. Clarkson's struggles from behind the dish continue.
Yeah, right there. He chooses to go to second. Yet again, I'm still not fully sure why. I mean, maybe if you have a play there, at least the middle infielder Abago was ready for that one, but two early walks turn into runners in scoring position, and I mean that's been the story of the day so far for the Lumberjacks.
Lo Wen-Shing looking for answers as that one not quite in there, ball 2.
This is one thing we spoke to Coach about, and how, last game it felt like it was one pitch that he got beat. Of course you can throw around ifs all the time. Doesn't really mean too much, but if that one pitch wasn't down the middle and they don't hit a grand slam, maybe the Lumberjacks are in the win column, but today's been the opposite of that. It's been every pitch that's been outside of the zone, so Lumberjacks have really, really struggled on the pitching side, and you can see that Utica only has 4 hits so far to the Lumberjacks 6. The Lumberjacks have more hits, but they have 8 runs in comparison to Boonville's 3, and that is purely because walks are not shown on the scoreboard, and Boonville has allowed many, many walks.
Pitch on Flashner is in there for strike 2. Officially 9 walks already on the Lumberjacks, with more in this inning.
Infield in, they're trying to keep that 5-run lead, or deficit, should I say.
11, the updated walk count, with the 2 on base right now for Wen-Shing.
Wow. Yeah, Coach wanted to focus on the bats, and, well, they were hot to start the game, have cooled down since, but tomorrow's off day, they might be focusing on the pitchers.
And a lot of off days early to start this season, as that full count pitch is up high, bases loaded, and a 3rd walk in the inning for Wen-Shing.
Still no outs.
Up to bat number 14, Caden Fry.
They had the 2 days off before this game. A game today, a day off tomorrow. They'll go away on Thursday to play against Mohawk Valley, and then another day off on Friday. So a lot of waiting early on for this team, not a lot of playing, and hasn't really been to their advantage at all.
Yeah, and I think what they need are the reps, really. Actually, I think that is what's killing them. I mean,
this one hit, tag second, and that's a double play. Quick thinking by Elijah Negron, and a much-needed double play at the right moment. Gets the runner off of second, and means it's runners on the corners, 2 outs for Ian Verts, the catcher.
yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure what Christian Cerrone was doing there at second. He was kind of just watching the ball. I mean, right there, you got to get back. That's what you have to do. He's kind of just watching as the play was made at second. Very heads-up play by Negron, who almost misses second base entirely, gets it with his offhand, but heads-up play, and that helps out Shing, who really needed an out there much more too.
Lo Wen-Shing checks back on the runner at first. Flashner back in there easily. Ian Verts has walked twice in this game, as well as gotten on by catcher's interference in his second plate appearance. 0-0 the count on him. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Runner on second goes. Throw is back to third. Good deception there by the catcher Clarkson, but the runner back in time. It's a stolen base for Michael Flashner.
Yeah, I like Connor Jones at third there. Points to Clarkson, nods his head, says he almost got me, but not quite. Clarkson, I thought he was going to second there, chose third instead. Ultimately, didn't get anything at third. Not sure he would have gotten anything at second anyway.
That one chopped to the third baseman. Swangam looks across and makes the play in the dirt, and picked up by Lopez for the out. Lo Wen-Shing gets out of a bases-loaded situation, and they've blanked the Blue Sox 3 straight innings. Brady Foxwell will have the play-by-play on the other side of the break. It's still 8-3 Utica on top. We'll be right back on the Lumberjack Sports Network.
Hello and welcome back to Hanson Aggregate Field at Robert Smith Sports Complex. It's the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Boonville Lumberjacks are facing off the Utica Blue Sox. The score is 8-3, and it is about as ugly as an 8-3 score could have been, despite 3 scoreless frames in the top half of the innings from the Utica Blue Sox. In steps Wyatt Lassiter, looking to do some damage back for the Lumberjacks, try and make this game look a little less uneven. And Hunter Harmon on the mound for the Utica Blue Sox. First pitch swinging is Lassiter, who lines the ball to left field. Christian Cerrone will field it cleanly, but nice start to the inning from Wyatt Lassiter. Must have been sitting off speed, jumped on the first pitch, saw what he liked, drove it to the left side of the field, and that's a pretty good start for the Lumberjacks, who have done okay offensively thus far. Only 3 runs, 7 hits, but for the Utica side, it's been the walks that have been helping them immensely, as they've only had 4 hits. That's all they've needed thus far. In steps Harrison Haig. He singled his last at-bat, which was his first at-bat for the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Hoping he has another one in him, trying to prove to Coach Christian Griffin that he is an everyday starter. Let's see what he can do with a runner on. Takes that one outside, and it's 2-0 early. Austin Rhodes was the starter for the Utica Blue Sox. He did a pretty good job despite a rough first against this Lumberjack lineup. Gave up 3 and settled down since then. Harmon has continued the trend of scoreless innings, as Haig fouls that one back to 2-1. Lassiter at first has 1 stolen base attempt this season thus far. It was against the Diamond Dogs in the first game of the season. He was gunned down. Behind the dish for the Blue Sox is Ian Wirtz. Not sure he'll test the arm. Haig takes a fastball upstairs, catches the top of the zone, so it's 2-2. Count knotted up. Haig out of the junior college, Bay College. He comes from Michigan, enjoying his summer in upstate New York, as is the rest of the team. The 2-2 is swung on and missed. The off-speed from Harmon, too much for Haig, so he goes down on strikes. And that brings up Zeb Swangam, his first day on the job here as well. He comes in from the University of North Carolina, Asheville. Has played a pretty solid third base thus far. Harmon sets, delivers. First pitch to Swangam catches the inside part of the zone. That's going to be strike 1 towards the 10-hole hitter. On first for the Lumberjacks is Wyatt Lassiter. They call him Lasso. Takes a big lead, does not go, and the 0-1 pitch to Swangam misses low. The off-speed doesn't catch the zone, says the home plate umpire. So the count will be 1-1 towards Swangam. 1-1 misses outside, so it's 2-1 to Swangam. Lumberjacks have been held scoreless since the bottom of the first, where they strung together 3 straight doubles to score 3. As Zeb swings and misses at the off-speed, cuts way out in front. And he's 2-2 to Zeb. Zeb fouls back the 2-2 offering towards the backstop. We'll do it again. Had 32 hits last year for UNC Asheville. 8 of those were doubles. Drove in 18 RBIs, had 1 specific stolen base, and drew 13 walks total. As he goes down on strikes, that's back-to-back strikeouts. Haig and Swangam for Hunter Harmon. Gets both of them swinging. And the order resets. It'll be Davon Abaga to start off the top of the lineup. 2 down for the Lumberjacks here in the bottom of the 5th. Abaga has played pretty nicely in the field so far. He's been put at second base. Has made a few key plays, so has the shortstop, the entire infield, really. Infield has played a nice game. That one error comes from a dropped fly ball from Harrison Haig. As Devo takes that pitch to the ribs, we got ice, says the Boonville Lumberjacks dugout, and the runner on first, Lassiter, will advance 90 feet.
Up to bat,
In steps
number
Will
7,
Hill, the
Will
center fielder.
Hill.
Still looking to make his presence known in this Lumberjack lineup. Other teams check the Lumberjacks roster and they see Will Hill from Texas UT Austin, the team that is currently facing Oregon next week in the Super Regionals. Will Hill looking to prove why he is on that team. Redshirted will be a part of their offense next year. First pitch is inside towards Hill. 2 outs right here. Runners running on anything. Harmon sets. Delivers. Inside towards the hands. I believe it clipped him, and yes, it did. So that's back-to-back hit by pitches for the Lumberjacks, Abaga and Hill, which brings up Ian Farber, the lefty from Niagara County Community College. We've said it before, he's the only one on the team with a home run thus far, and if he's able to jack one out right now, this game would look a lot different. Currently 8-3, but 3 in scoring position. The hypothetical tying run is on deck in Michael Clarkson. Farber hasn't had his best day today, but now against a righty, he's hoping his luck will switch. Two outs for the Lumberjacks, bases loaded. First pitch. Catches the outside part of the zone. Strike one towards Farber. Dimensions at Hanson Aggregates are 330 to left, 365 to center, 320 to right. Swings and misses at the off-speed pitch is quickly down 0-2 in the count. Dimensions to keep in mind is that there is a 10-foot wall, at least, possibly 12-foot wall surrounding the outfield, so it takes quite a bit to get one out. No wind here tonight in Boonville, New York. That is not playing a factor. 0-2. Misses outside. Farber spits on that one. We'll do it again at 1-2. Utica dugout has been loud all night. Not very loud right now. Boonville has lacked energy all night. Farber looking to bring some. The 1-2. Swung and popped up to the first baseman, Jacobs, who catches it, and that ends the Boonville inning. They don't score any despite having the bases loaded, and Utica is still seriously in control of this game. They lead 8-3. We'll head to the top of the 6th. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Hanson Aggregates Field at Robert Smith Sports Complex. If you're just joining us, we're in the top of the 6th, and Utica has been in control the entire game. It is 8-3 in favor of the Blue Sox. On the mound for the Lumberjacks is Lo Wen-Shing. Hitting for the Utica Blue Sox is Xavier Smith, the third baseman from Millersville. Millersville is pretty popular here in the Utica area, as left fielder Christian Cerrone is also a Millersville attendee, as well as the DH for the day, Connor McCartney, excuse me. 1-1 to Smith. Swung on, fouled off of his foot. 1-2. Lights are on here at Hanson Aggregates. Sun is fully gone down. 8:33. For those in the New York area who care, your Knicks are now playing basketball. Knicks in 6 if it was up to me. One, two to Xavier Smith. Lo Wen-Shing sets, gets his pitch, delivers. Slider misses away, and that ball's in the dirt. 2-2 to the cleanup hitter, who's leading off the top of the 6th. Lumberjacks still lead Utica in hits, 7-4. That's about the only category they lead in besides errors as well. 2-2. Misses upstairs for 3-2.
And it's been the walks that's killed them. I mean, we've been talking about it for probably all of the games so far in this season, but the walks and the strikeouts on the hitting side, they've just killed this team.
Swing and a drive to left field. Might get down. No, it won't. Hangs up long enough for Harrison Haig to make a play on it in left center field. And just like that, there's one away here in the top of the 6th.
17, Jack Sweeney.
A little bit of redemption for the left fielder Harrison Haig, who, as we know, made an error in his first fielding attempt of the season. I'm sure that one feels good to, get that one off your chest and be able to make a play out there in the outfield.
Yeah, I mean, pretty uncharacteristic of an error, I would say, from him, but, just got to move past it and did a pretty good job on that play.
Grounded to the shortstop. Negron fires to first, where R.J. Lopez makes a snag on it. So just like that, back-to-back pitches, back-to-back outs. And it's a lot of zeros on the board, really. I mean, for the last 3 innings, nothing has happened. It's just that nightmare second inning where the Lumberjacks got beat by 7 runs. That's incredible, and it's not their best performance.
Yeah, not the incredible that you're hoping for, especially coming into a rivalry game. But, it hasn't been great on either side the last couple innings.
First pitch to Jacobs is a strike. And, you mentioned it earlier, but the Lumberjacks play the Blue Sox plenty throughout the season. They even got him again later this weekend. I'm sure that game at least could look a little different, at least. I mean, on paper, these teams aren't drastically different. Similar hitters, Utica might have a few more arms than the Lumberjacks do, but I'm sure that every game won't look this lopsided, at least as far as it is this far.
No, I mean, we've seen through the first couple Lumberjack games, it's been just one inning or one swing that has decided the game for this team. If they can just put it together and avoid the blow-ups, they should be fine.
Yeah, you say 1 inning, 1 swing, a 7-inning run is an outlier for sure, but I understand the sentiment. It's the unforced errors really is what's killing the Lumberjacks so far. But again, it's game 3. Lumberjacks still chasing their first win. Utica chasing their second. But it's got to happen eventually. So Lumberjacks just got to keep their mental spirits high as they look to get number 1.
Yeah, and it really is unforced errors. I mean, the Blue Sox put up 8 runs through the first 2 innings on 2 hits. I mean, they were practically letting them walk in around the bases, and they just kept the line moving. And when the other team's shooting themselves in the foot, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and one more thing, Colin Glenn's got to keep his head up. It's an unfortunate outing, but believe me, every elite pitcher has had their fair share. So he's a guy that they don't want to just throw to the back of the bullpen and never use. He's going to have a role on this team, and he's got to just, goldfish memory and just only look forward.
Yeah, and he's one of the smarter baseball minds on this team, especially that I've been around. I mean, he's always talking baseball, always thinking about baseball. He's always working on baseball. It seems like we always see him around on the training grounds. So one of the hardest workers on this team, and I have no doubt that he'll bounce back.
Yeah, first pitch to Carvelli is in there for a strike. So Lo Wen-sheng, we mentioned his command issues earlier. Looks pretty okay in the top of the sixth here. Of course, just allowed a walk to Alex Jacobs, but let's see if he bounces back here. 0-1 pitches, misses in the dirt, 1-1.
And that's the concern for this team. I mean, 13 walks through just over 5 innings of baseball is absolutely terrible. And, you know, when it's not the strikeouts on the offensive side that's killing you, it's the walks on the defensive side.
Ground ball to the shortstop, Negron. Tough play onto first, and he gets it. No, he doesn't. Almost gets it in time to Negron. What just happened? Ground ball to Negron. Negron to R.J. Lopez. Lopez unable to scoop it out in the dirt, but fires to third to try and get the advancing runner. Unable to make it play. It'll be runners on first and third after a pretty chaotic play.
Yeah, I think they're going to score that one in error right there. Should have been a lot better of a throw. I mean, he had time. I think the route on that one is what killed him. I mean, he ranged back on it. If you just take a couple steps to your left, that's probably an out.
Yeah, it looked like the ball ate him up a little bit, and not sure what they'll rule that, but runners on the corners now, so Lo Wen-sheng had 2 outs with no one on. Just like that, there's 2 outs with runners on the corner. As he checks back to first, but nothing doing. Sheng making sure to not fall into a repetition movement so they can steal easily. Checks back again, still nothing happening at first.
Yeah, and Carvelli's a guy that's been on base a couple times today, and he's definitely bit the Lumberjacks in the behind when he's been there. He's been one of the fastest players on this team today.
Utica enjoying chirping the opposing team. First pitch to McCartney, misses outside. McCartney DHing today.
Runner goes.
Runner goes, but there's no real throw. Dave Anabaga comes in to cut it off, but as far as Utica feels, they're running at will on this Lumberjack team.
And, I mean, they've been stealing on Clarkson all day long. He hasn't gotten anyone out, and it's actually been a little bit worse than that. He's thrown a couple into center as well. I mean, they're going to run at will, especially when you show them you can't get them out.
Line drive into left is cut off by Swangham at third, who makes a play on it, throws to R.J. Lopez at first, and they're out of the inning. That's the 4th 0 they've put up in a row. So the game is still 8-3 in favor of the Utica Blue Sox. We head to the bottom of the 6th where the Lumberjacks still try and claw out of this hole they dug back in the top of the 2nd. We'll see you right after the break. Welcome back to Hanson Aggregates at Robert Smith Sports Complex. I'm Brady Foxwell. To my left is Evanson Vida. Lumberjacks still down 5, 8-3. Looking to claw out of the hole is Michael Clarkson. And Evan, what do the Lumberjacks need to do to just make this game a little closer?
Just got to get the line going, really. I mean, you just got to keep the line moving if you're this team. Get some men on base and hit them in. I mean, playing small ball is certainly not this team's brand, but when you're down 5 and nothing else is working, you got to turn to the old tricks.
Yeah, it'll be Reese Jancy on the mound for Utica, listed at 6'4", 225, the righty. It's back-to-back righties now that Utica has thrown out after Austin Rose, the lefty, started the game. Clarkson quickly down 1-1. Takes the 1-1 pitch for a ball. Clarkson, one of the bigger hitters on the team. Is playing catcher today, looking for that starting job. 2-1 is swung on and popped up to the right side. Not sure if Jacobs has room. He doesn't. That ball goes out of play. And a kid just earned himself a Snickers bar. And the count will be 2-2.
Yeah, Reese Jancy, a guy that really hasn't appeared that much at the college level, only 2 appearances and officially .2 innings pitched for over a 40 ERA, so definitely this is the time to jump if you're the Lumberjacks.
2-2 is popped foul again towards Mom's Kitchen, which is the name of our concession stand, by the way. So back-to-back foul balls for Clarkson. Lumberjacks could use that 40 ERA now. 2-2. Misses upstairs. Not by much. Great take. A big league take, you could say. And it's 3-2 to the leadoff hitter, Clarkson. Clarkson also comes from a community college, Paris Community College, where he hit well over 300. Takes ball 4 right there. It's a great spot. I agree with the Utica dugout. Just a little off the plate there. So Lumberjacks leadoff hitter yet again. That hasn't been the issue. It's been about batting around. But here's Tanner Ferguson, one of the better hitters on the team. And, hopefully he can get something going for this Lumberjack lineup is what I'm sure everyone here at Hanson Aggregates is thinking. At least those wearing green. First pitch swinging is drilled out to left, but under it is the left fielder Cerrone, who makes a play on it, and nothing doing is Clarkson at first. You really got to get every ounce of a baseball to get it to fly here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the dry air or just the dimensions, the high field, the high fences at this park, but it's been really rough, especially for the Lumberjacks here. They've had no home runs in this ballpark this year.
Yeah, wind has played a factor in the past. Today is not windy. It's, no longer sunny since it is nighttime, but 60 degrees out. Pretty fair weather for those who are used to it, at least. I'm doing all right over here. Evan, you doing okay?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I've been at Syracuse for 2 years, so I'd like to think I'm a little bit more acclimated to the weather than my Los Angeles blood would be.
Brought my sweatshirt. Don't think I'll use it today. 1-0 to R.J. Lopez, who is looking for another big moment here for the Lumberjacks. Got his first hit earlier today, looking for another one here as he swings and fouls one back over our heads. Count will be 1-1 to number 21. On first is Clarkson, not taking a very big lead. Jancy doesn't feel the need to check on him too seriously. Pitch to Lopez, misses up and in, but way high upstairs. 2-1 to RJ.
And Boonville's got to take advantage of the command issues here. I mean, that's why Utica is winning this game. They took advantage of command issues from the Lumberjacks pitchers, and if they want to have any success, it's got to go both ways.
2-1 pitch to Lopez, catches the top of the zone. Lopez looks to third base coach and head coach Christian Griffin in disappointment. 2-2 to the first baseman. Clarkson at first. On deck is Negron. 2-2 to Lopez. Swings and misses. He blows the fastball by him, so Lopez walks back to the dugout in defeat as that brings up Negron. Negron, the rising sophomore. Had the heads-up play at short to help out his pitcher, Lo Wen-Shing. Lumberjacks have turned a few timely double plays today, as the first pitch to Negron is in there for a strike. Took forever to get through the first couple of innings. Since then, it's been relatively quick.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 innings were almost an hour from first pitch, but it's kind of calmed down since then. I mean, it's been an hour since the 3rd inning, so definitely a lot faster pace of play.
Beautiful pitch from Jancy there. Doesn't get the strike call, but almost buckles Negron. That's a big league take as that one falls just a bit inside. Clarkson still on first. Lassiter on deck. Negron swings at the fastball. Is late, 1-2. Negron, they're calling him 5'11", 180. Stocky build, plays a pretty good infield as he's put on display today.
And if he's going to be a guy that gets a hit, it's got to be him. It's now or never. I mean, he's primarily a single hitter, but extra bases would be huge right now.
As he goes down on strikes, Jancy goes back to the fastball, and Negron is unable to make an adjustment. So despite the leadoff hitter Clarkson getting on, the Lumberjacks go down yet again without putting up a run. We head to the top of the 7th, where Utica looks to extend their 8-3 lead over the Lumberjacks. I'm Brady Foxwell, my partner Evan Simbita. We'll see you in the top of the 7th. Welcome back to Hanson Aggregates Field. Pitching for the Lumberjacks now is the new guy, Jackson Baptist. I spoke to Coach Christian Griffin, who didn't want to use him today unless entirely necessary, and it feels that it is necessary in this case. Evan, what do we know about a guy like this?
Well, Baptist, a big D1 pitcher, 5'11", out of Alabama State University from El Paso, Texas. Another Texas guy with Will Hill, but he's had some pretty good outings at the D1 level. 7 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 4.1 innings pitched, 0 earned runs with 7 Ks. He's a pitching to contact type of pitcher, but he can get you a strikeout when he needs it. Had a 1-5 record last year, but the numbers don't really show how good he really was.
Here's Connor Jones on the Utica side, and that first pitch is very up and in, but I believe it hit him as well. They're deciding whether or not he pulled back on the bunt. Looks like the umpires are a little confused, as I am. They say he did not go around. I guess it didn't hit him either, so it's 1-0 on a pitch that just happened to lean inside. Jones has been dealing with up and in all night, and that one drills him, and Jones doesn't like it at all. We know that Baptist throws pretty hard too, so to get a ball to, I believe, the rib area like that gotta hurt. There's not a lot of meat on those bones.
Up to bat number 4, Christian Cerrone.
Yeah, well, Utica might win today, likely to win today, but they won't do it without getting bruised up a little bit by the Lumberjacks, and it's not by their offense, it's by the arms. That brings up Cerrone, the left fielder out of Millersville. First pitch for a strike. Baptist checking on the runner Jones. Jones has a decent-sized lead at first. Stays put. Pitch to Cerrone is fouled into the softball park down the street. So Cerrone will be down 0-2. Baptist, I imagine, is who Coach Christian Griffin wants to finish out the rest of the game. We'll see what other arms he has available.
That's a lot of innings for a guy that's primarily a starter to eat in the back half of a dead game, though.
Ground ball to the cut off by the third baseman Zeb Swangam, who throws on to first to get one. Runner advances. It'll be a fielder's choice ultimately as Jones moves to second. A slow roller. Not sure Negron could have made a play on it. Good choice by Zeb Swangam to come over and throw to first.
Up to bat number 5, Michael Flashner.
Well, we head to the top of the Utica Blue Sox order yet again. Feels like we've said that phrase a few times today. Michael Flashner, the shortstop, is up. The speedy shortstop, I should say.
Yeah, this is already the 5th trip around the order for the Blue Sox, and I would bet they're going to get at least one more.
First pitch to Flashner is a fastball down the middle. Baptist stuff is believed is good enough that he can get away with fastballs down the middle and that he just throws pretty hard, sits about 92, 93. At least. He's got some velocity. Throws yet another fastball, goes back to it. Flashner tries to lay down the butt, does not pull it back in time, so it's 0-2 to the one-hole hitter.
And you got a lot of flack from the Boonville dugout on that one. A lot of yelling and screaming. I mean, on a bunt attempt like that, who could blame him?
Infield is playing back. Negron holding Jones at second. Baptist gets the sign. Checks on Jones. Jones isn't going anywhere. 0-2. Inside, almost hits Flashner in the foot, and that ball goes to the backstop. So Jones gets a free 90. And it's a 1-2 count for Flashner. Flashner's hit leadoff every game thus far for the Blue Sox, a trend that will likely continue if he gets on base at the rate that he does. Leads the team in at-bats, was hitting .231 coming into today. On-base percentage will be raised mightily. 1-2 to Flashner. Misses inside as well. Entire infield is in. Lopez at first, Abaga at second, Negron at short, and Swangam at third. Outfield playing regular depth despite Lassiter playing a little bit further back there and right. No shift on the lefty, the 2-2. Misses outside, not by much. Baptist wanted the call, but won't get it. 3-2 to Flashner. Single scores a run, fly ball does as well.
Flashner leads this team in ABs, and when you look at his performance tonight, it's pretty clear why. He's got 3 walks and a single. He's been on base every single time he's been at the plate.
Payoff pitch misses, so after getting Flashner down 0-2, 4 straight balls, all 4,
Off the
excuse
bat
me,
for Utica,
first 2
number
miss inside,
14,
next 2 miss
Caden
outside. That's some
Fry.
speed that the Lumberjacks do not want on the base paths. Flashner expects him to be taking 2 on this, especially with Jones at third. And that brings up the hitter from Purdue, Caden Fry. I expect Flashner to take off. Fry laying bunt. Doesn't get it down. First pitch for a strike.
And if I heard correctly, I think Christian Griffin's calling for Matt Helmer Jr. to come out of the bullpen.
0-1. Misses. Ooh. Catches the very top of the zone to the dismay of the Utica side. So that's back-to-back batters down 0-2. Let's see if Baptist can finish this one. You said Helmer Jr. at the bullpen?
It sounds like he wants him at least up and warming up. I don't know if he'll use him in this game. Had a little bit of a blow up against Mohawk Valley in his first appearance, but might be a good idea to have him warm.
Runner goes, hit and run. That one, end of the bat foul. RJ Lopez almost makes a play there, but Flashner will head back to first, and we'll do it again at 0-2. You mentioned Helmer Jr. That's a guy that throws strikes. You said he got hit around a little bit. Ultimately, that's baseball. What can you do about it? At least give your team a chance. So, and they were playing at Mohawk Valley, the Diamond Dogs. They have a pretty irregular stadium. Center field is about 355 feet or something like that. 0-2 is swung on right and hit to Devo at second, who fires back to RJ Lopez at first. Ultimately, Flashner gets back in time, so it'll be 2 outs with runners still at the corners.
Yeah, Helmer wasn't the greatest against Mohawk Valley. Gave up 2 home runs to the shortest part of the ballpark. Ultimately, in 1 inning pitched, he had 3 earned runs off of 3 hits, a walk, and of course 2 of those being homers with no strikeouts. But in a game like this, I mean, if your offense isn't putting any runs up since the first inning, I see no harm in putting him out there.
That brings up Ian Ertz with runners on the corner. Good RBI opportunity for him. First pitch swinging, misses at the slider.
And Helmer can be a guy who can get a lot of good innings in for this team. I mean, 27 ERA isn't great to start off the year, but if he can get some confidence on the back half of this game, I'd say that's a win.
Flashner pretends to go off to second, ultimately comes back. They will call that a ball inside. Yeah, I wouldn't look too much at ERAs this early. Flashner fakes taking off to second yet again, playing mind games with Clarkson behind the plate.
Yeah, and they've been toying with Clarkson all day. I mean, it'd be great for him if he could just throw somebody out just so they could stop messing with him on the base paths.
2-1 to Ertz. Swung on and missed. That fastball is a little too much for the catcher out of Lehigh. Arguably the Utica Blue Sox best hitter versus the Lumberjacks best arm. Arguably. Pretty good matchup thus far. Utica with a chance to put the game away. Fouled off into the mitt of Clarkson, who cannot keep hold of it. Flashner took off there. That's the second time he took off. Second time he'll have to go back to first. Baptist, I imagine, goes back to the fastball. It's working early. Doesn't want to hang it over the plate. Ian Ertz is the type of hitter who will punish that. Flashner pretends to take off. Fastball misses outside. We'll go to 3-2. Jones will likely stay put at third. Flashner will move to second.
And this has been a pretty good matchup to watch so far. This is a real duel.
Baptist sets. Payoff pitch. Flashner goes. Dotted on the inside part of the plate, and Baptist leaves runners on first and third. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Lumberjacks still trying to claw at that 5-run deficit. We'll see you after the break. Hello and welcome back to Hanson Aggregates Field. It has been quite the eventful day, kinda. First inning was pretty favorable for the Lumberjacks despite a rough top of the first. A double play got them out of it. Bottom of the third, the Bats were alive where they put up a 3-spot on 4 hits. The top of the second allowed for 7 runs for the Blue Sox side, and there has been no scoring since. It is the bottom of the 7th, and Wyatt Lassiter is up to face Reese Jancy. First pitch swinging, skies one into right center field. Moving to his left is Connor Jones, who is under that for 1 out.
And I'm a little disappointed, honestly. I thought we've been robbed of a pretty good rivalry game. I mean, this was supposed to be the one. This is supposed to be the one that you circle on your calendar and you look forward to, but it just has not been a competitive game since the top of the second, and there really hasn't been too much fire in this one.
I imagine they'll have to look forward to their contest later in the week to be more thrilling than this one. Here's Harrison Haig. He singled in his first at-bat. Takes a fastball for a strike here. Haig playing left field today. The JUCO Bandit, as are many on this Lumberjacks team. 0-1. Swings and misses. The off-speed has him way out in front. Good pitch from Jancy. On deck for the Lumberjacks is Zeb Swangam. Utica has been in control pretty much the entire game. 0-2. Popped to the first baseman, Alex Jacobs, who is under it with plenty of time to spare. So that's 2 up, 2 down for the Lumberjacks, who have been going quietly since the bottom of the first. Yeah, Evan, what's your biggest takeaway so far?
Honestly, I think this team came out just looking sluggish from the couple off days that they had, and that's been their Achilles heel today. I mean, they came out not really with a ton of fight, loaded the bases up in the first, only surrendered 1, but then you blow up for 7 runs in the second, and the offense, ever since that first inning, has been completely dead. I mean, you had 3 hits in that first inning, and since then you've been almost shut out completely.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with how they're cutting down the strikeouts, though. That's been the biggest concern. But, I mean, you still gotta generate some more runs. 3 runs likely won't do it. First pitch to Swangam misses outside. And it's a different concern each day for this Lumberjack team. First time they put up 8 runs, gave up 13 in a game that ultimately there was some lightning, so they had to cancel it early. But they showed the ability with the bats and to draw walks and to be patient and win the plus counts even. But ultimately it was the pitching that just couldn't finish the job that day. They left the ballpark 0-1, losing 8-13. And against Oneonta the other day, they played some pretty competitive baseball, except on the offensive side, struck out too many times to really get anything going. And it was an unfortunate grand slam that killed the Lumberjacks that game. Count moves to 1-2 on Swangam. Here it's just been that rough second inning. I mean, you know, you can say if all you want, if they play better in the second, but this game is 8-3 and Utica has been shutting them down offensively. So Lumberjacks need to show some sign of life late, or they'll move to 0-3 with more questions than answers. Misses downstairs, 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, they did cut down on the strikeouts. They still have 5 in this game, which is a lot better of a number considering they averaged 13 through their first 2 games. But when the entire offense is dead, I mean, they've had two hits since the second inning. If you cut down on strikeouts but don't get hits, it's null and void.
Swangam fouls one off towards us. That hit our booth, but I'm all right for anyone wondering. Evan, you're all right?
All good over here.
We're all good over here. And Evan, this Lumberjacks team has completely been overhauled, you know, pretty much entirely new. Do they in any way share similar to the last year's Lumberjacks team?
I mean, yeah, this last year's Lumberjack team started off 0-2 with 1 home game and 1 on the road, but then they came back here to beat the eventual champion Saugerty Stallions by 4 runs, and that just has not been the case here tonight.
Sky to right field. Sweeney comes in and makes a play on it. So the Lumberjacks go 1, 2, 3 yet again. We head to the top of the 8th, where the Utica Blue Sox lead 8-3. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to the ballpark. On the mound for the Lumberjacks, yet another pitching change. It's going to be Tyson Harmon. His job is to not allow any more runs. Lumberjacks have done a good job of that since the second inning. Evan, what can we expect out of Tyson Harmon?
Tyson Harmon's another arm who didn't really throw too much in college, only 2.1 innings pitched and 3 earned runs in those. He's a fastball, slider, changeup, and curveball pitcher. Pitched in the last game in 1 inning, allowed 2 walks but no runs, and if he can dial in the command here, more walks is not what this team needs, but if he can get through it clean, get another confidence boost on the mound, he'll be good for this team going forward.
I'm not sure more walks is what any team needs, but what we know about his velocity, seeing it from here, I mean, that looks like cheddar from the press box.
Yeah, I think Coach Christian Griffin really wants to use him as primarily in the closer role. I mean, unfortunately, the last 2 games have not been save opportunities, and he's had to throw him out there, but I think if he can put him in late in this game, he's a guy who can really shut things down, and hopefully he'll prove that tonight.
Well, quickly moves 2-0 as he gets the first strike call so far. Here in the top of the 8th inning, latter half of the game has been flying by. Almost pitch dark here in lovely Boonville, New York, compared to Utica. Boonville is a little bit smaller, I would say, as that ball is fouled out of play. Boonville, arguably a village, about 2,000 people. Utica, the biggest city within an hour.
Maybe. Syracuse might be, if that's within an hour.
Is Syracuse within an hour, though?
I think it's close.
That's why I specified, wow. Tyson Harmon with some cheddar to get Xavier Smith down. The fastball gets him looking. And that's 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 8th.
Bat number 17.
Nah, Syracuse is about like an hour 30 or like hour 15, I thought.
Depends where in Boonville you are, I suppose. I think from where we're staying, it's about an hour.
Hour 19, I'm right, Evan, you're wrong. Utica is the biggest city within an hour of here, and well, the Lumberjacks are looking to have that small town fight, but so far the big city kids are winning.
And another mound visit. I mean, it's just hasn't been great all night for the guys on the mound. Ever since that second inning, they haven't allowed a run, but even then, they've loaded up the bases a couple times, and you've never really felt comfortable on the mound tonight. I think for Coach Christian Griffin going forward, I mean, we saw for the last couple off days they were focusing on the strikeouts on the offensive side, but now I think it's going to be command and walks on the defensive side. It feels like when you plug one hole up, another blows up, but just got to be focusing on one different thing and just moving forward, hoping this team as a whole can improve.
Another one skied back towards us, that one over our press box. Moves to 0-2 versus Jack Sweeney, the right fielder for Rutgers. Rutgers plays in the Big Ten. So does his teammate Caden Fry, who plays for Purdue, as Sweeney goes down on 3 pitches. Tyson Harmon showing why he is the closer on the team, just yet to be put in a situation where he needs to close a game.
Yeah, and I mean, 2 straight strikeouts for him. This is what you want to see out of that plus arm in the back half of your bullpen. Obviously, we haven't really seen him in a high leverage situation. These have been pretty calm to start, but for at least the moment, he looks pretty good to me.
Swing and a line drive ground ball towards Dave Anabaga, who backs it up but ultimately makes a play on it, throws to first, and they get Alec Jacobs in plenty of time. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th where the Lumberjacks are running out of time to make that comeback. We'll see what they can do on the latter half of the 8th. See you after the break.
Up to bat number
Welcome
11.
back to Hanson Aggregates Fields. The Lumberjacks down 5 to the Utica Blue Sox, 3-8 the score. It's a new arm for the Utica Blue Sox. It's Austin Stokert. Evan, what can you tell me about him?
Well, he's a workhorse. He's ate a lot of innings at the collegiate level this year.
Abaga pops that one out. Third baseman Smith comes in and makes a play. So first pitch swinging for Devo, and he's back to the dugout.
Yeah, he ate a lot of innings, 45 innings pitched in this last collegiate season with a 4.4 ERA, and he had a good standing record-wise as well, 3-1 this year, so definitely a plus arm and coming to here to shut out the Lumberjacks for the back half of this game.
Yeah, and he goes to SUNY Poly. I know that's just down the street from here, about 30 minutes away, so I'm sure he's at least a little bit familiar with the Boonville area. And he knows the ball doesn't fly too much around here. I'm sure he's familiar with as that steps up Will Hill, who is looking to make some sort of impact today.
Yeah, he's got to hit one deep into the Boonville sky. I mean, he's a huge guy with a smooth swing. I mean, it's got to be coming eventually.
Well, that one is lined into left, not quite into the Boonville sky, but I'm sure he'll take that. Cerrone fields it cleanly in left, and Will Hill, that's his second hit of the day.
Up to bat number 31, Ian Farber.
Yeah, and Will Hill, he's a guy that when he puts it together, he's going to be one of, if not the best hitter on this Boonville team. He was highly recruited out of high school for a reason. I mean, he had multiple D1 offers. He had TCU, University of Tennessee, ultimately ended up choosing to go to UT Austin, but he's a highly touted guy, and when he starts getting daily reps and daily at-bats, he's going to be a monster.
Undoubtedly. Here's Ian Farber, the big lefty for the Lumberjacks, the extra hitter today. First pitch swinging, fouls back towards the Utica dugout. Yeah, you know, you've heard of Elf on a Shelf. Have you heard of Will on a Hill?
I can't give you that one. That's pretty terrible. I'm not going to lie.
My fault, folks.
Not even close to the Christmas season either. Just out of left field.
Out in left field actually is Christian Cerrone, who has made a few nice plays today, but the extra hitter today is Ian Farber. He's up down 0-1 in the count as they check on Will Hill. Nothing doing at first. They check on him a lot is the common theme I've got when he's on first base.
Yeah, he's stolen a couple bases so far this year. Not the smallest guy. I mean, he's a huge frame, listed at 175, but he's got to be at least 205. And, I mean, he's a stocky guy, but he's got some speed out on the base paths. I mean, he's D1 for a reason.
You think he goes here?
No, I don't think so. I've been wrong on this before, though.
1-1 to Farber. Hill fakes going to second as Farber takes a fastball looking. 1-2. Yeah. It's Ferguson hitting fifth, but the way he's been hitting, they might actually have to move him up with the disappointment in the front of the lineup. Asher Friedman noticeably not in the lineup today as Will Hill takes off. Throw is on line, and he is gunned down at second. Lumberjacks don't like it. Utica loves it. Utica saying a few words to Will Hill on his way back to the dugout. Hill talks to the umpire. Doesn't like that call one bit. Evan, what'd you think?
I mean, yeah, the tag was applied right on the base. There was no way he could have been safe on that one.
I also thought he was out. Didn't like it, however. Here's the 2-2. Pitches inside. Slider with some crazy movements, just not towards the strike zone. Moves to 3-2 on Farber.
I mean, that was a pretty good throw, and it seemed like most people on the field knew he was going right there. Can't really be surprised if he got thrown out, even with plus speed.
Yeah, it was the one hop right to the glove as that's ball 4 for Farber. He'll take one. The one hop throw right to second. The shortstop, it was Michael Flashner, at second, applied a great tag there.
Up to bat number 13, Michael Clarkson.
That brings up Michael Clarkson to try and see what he can do at this late stage in the game. Farber at first. I imagine he isn't going anywhere as the first pitch to Clarkson misses upstairs. You know, you're 0 for 2 with the guesses on first, though, I got to say.
Yeah, Will Hill in the Mohawk Valley game, he proved me wrong and just did it again. So maybe I'll keep my trap shut when talking about Will Hill on the base paths.
1-0 pitch to Clarkson. Swung on, grounded to the third baseman, Smith, who throws on to Caden Frey at second, who was there in plenty of time. And we head to the top of the ninth, where the Utica Blue Sox will look to close out. The Boonville Lumberjacks will look to close out the Utica Blue Sox. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Hanson Aggregates Field. Lumberjacks still trailing 8-3. Have put up a lot of zeros since the top of the second. We've harped on that all day. That was a pretty ugly top of the second.
62,
Tyson Harmon back out for his
Carvelli.
second inning of work. Had a pretty solid top of the eighth. As that first pitch is lined into center field. Carvelli took that fastball and sent it right back where it came from. Leadoff hitter for Utica.
Up to bat for Utica, number 7, Connor McCartney.
They bring up Connor McCartney, the DH today out of Millersville. Harmon, pretty much no matter what, will finish this game out. Lumberjacks can't afford to use any more pitchers. As the first pitch to McCartney is well outside. Utica chirping Harmon.
I mean, why at this point? Well, what do you have to gain? You're up 5 runs in the 9th inning. You got to see this team in a week. I mean, save some face at least. You already won the game.
1-0. Swung on and grounded up the middle. That one will get through. Moving to third is Carvelli. He will be there standing. So it's runners on first and third here in the top of the 9th for the Blue Sox. Utica loves it.
Up to bat, number 1, Connor Jones.
Gotta say, runners on first and third hasn't been the most favorable situation for the Lumberjacks today.
No, and this is a big out right here. Connor Jones already with 2 walks and a single. This is going to be a pretty big put out.
Here's Connor Jones, was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat. First pitch is in the dirt, bounced, and scoring is Carvelli. Moving to second is McCartney. So for the first time since the second inning, the Blue Sox score another run. It is now 9-3. Still no outs here in the top of the 9th. McCartney on second.
And just an overall poor performance, really. Not what you want to see. And I do wonder what Coach Christian Griffin is going to say post-game, but just an overall failure, I would say, in a lot of different departments. I mean, that's not even that bad, the wild pitch, but just the cumulative mistakes that have added up over this night on the offensive and defensive side. It's not a good performance at all for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, they're telling Tyson Harmon to throw harder, and when he steps off, they're chirping him even a little bit more. So, yeah, it looks like they're really getting to anybody here in the 9th.
For what it's worth, Harmon's been pretty good in this game. I mean, that's just one mistake in a low-leverage situation, but when it's mattered, he's been nails this season.
2-0. Swung on and lined into right field. That gets in front of Lassiter, who throws onto third. Throw will be just late. Almost get McCartney moving to third. Lassiter with a fantastic throw all the way out from right. Umpire can't give him the call there. Says that McCartney got under the tag, and it's runners on the corners.
Up to bat, number 4, Christian Cerrone.
And still no outs in this inning. I mean, no one's going in the bullpen. Tyson Harmon's just going to have to figure it out there. I think they're going to leave him out there for the rest of this game.
Yeah, it's his game to finish ultimately, so we'll see what he can do here. Runner goes. Throw goes back to third. Not moving is McCartney, so it'll be runners on second and third now.
And that just hasn't really worked all night long. I mean, I don't know why. That's the second time he's thrown that back pick, and it just hasn't worked at all. But maybe if he thinks it's going to happen at this point in the game, I don't really know. But this time it didn't work, even less than the first time.
The 1-0 pitch. Off speed in there for a strike. Christian Cerrone at bat, the 10-hole hitter from Millersville. Swung on and misses the slider. Takes his time around the batter's box. No pitch clock in the PGCBL.
And I think looking forward for this Lumberjacks team, you just got to win the next couple games. I mean, starting the season 0-3, that's not going to be conducive, especially during the long run. I mean, you got to build on something, especially for a team that's only made the playoffs once in its team history. You got to get started strong.
Tyson Harmon takes the throw harder chance with a off speed to get Cerrone swinging. So runner still on second and third, first out here in the top of the ninth. It's got to feel somewhat relieving.
Yeah, somewhat relieving, but you've got to face the order for the 6th time right here. There's got to be a little bit of struggle in that.
Here's Flashner, 6th bat of the day. You just mentioned it. He's got 2 on in pretty good scoring position here. Runners on second and third. First pitch, misses inside and goes to the backstop. Covering is Harmon. The play at the plate, they say he's safe. Harmon doesn't like it. I'm not sure about that. You folks at home have replay. Here we don't. I thought he got him.
Yeah,
Utica extends the lead to 10-3.
Yeah, I think the throw was late, personally. I thought that tag was late, and Clarkson's talking to the dugout. He's just digging himself a deeper hole here. Even at this point in the game, I mean, we're talking about a 9-3 ball game going into the bottom of the 9th versus a 10-3 ball game. I get it's big for Tyson Harmon's confidence out there on the mound, but it's just, at this point, in the grand scheme of things, not really important.
Yeah, so runner will be on third now. It's 10-3. Flashner still up to bat. 1-1 count. Lands the fastball for a strike, 1-2. Utica 2-1-1 on the season, looking to move to 3-1. Lumberjacks likely falling to 0-3. Fastball down the middle. Flashner just looking. He'll go down and walk back to the dugout. Confused for some reason. Pitch was down the middle.
Up to bat number 14.
And there's a lot of talking going on in this game. I don't know if it's just because both sides are a little bit bored, but this is the most vocal we've seen both benches this entire night.
Here's Caden Frey, the second baseman out of Purdue. Late on the fastball, blew it by him. Oh, 1 pitch down the middle. Frey still looking. Connor Jones at third. He's looking to come in to score. Scores 10-3 in favor of the Blue Sox. 0-2 pitch. Misses outside. 1-2.
And at least at this point in the game, you're seeing back-to-back strikeouts from Harmon. I mean, at least he's not shaken out there, but, I mean, at this point, that's all you can do. Just get something going in your favor.
1-2 pitch. Just misses inside. Harmon walked off the mound like it was strike 3. Umpire can't give that one to him.
No, that one was pretty far out there. I'm not sure what he thought on that one.
2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 balls. Misses upstairs, 3-2 after having him up 0-2.
And it's pretty interesting to hear how loud the Utica bench is. I mean, they're clearly just trying to stir something up because this game is over in their favor. They just want something to go their way even more.
3-2. Clips him on the elbow. Would have been ball 4 anyway. He'll move to first. And it's runners on the corners. Still Harmon's game to finish.
Up to bat number 61, Ian Ritz.
First pitch misses away, ball 1 to Wirtz.
And that's already the third hit by pitch in this game. None of them looked malicious, but just a little bit of frustration there from Harmon on a 3-2 count where I think he was going to miss either way. Wanted to make him at least make it worth their money.
1-0 pitch. Misses outside, 2-0.
Julian, get here right now.
2-0. Down the middle, strike 1.
I mean, this almost feels like punishment at this point for all the Boonville players out there on the field, just taking the constant insults from the Utica bullpen. I mean, hopefully they don't forget this for the game in a week.
One thing Coach Christian Griffin said is win the mental battle. He said that he wants his players to be a little more composed no matter what happens. And, yeah, it's that rough second inning. You know, it's easy to talk when you're up, and, well, they are, you know what I mean? So, you know, they took those walks. Boonville played far from their best game today, and as the runner goes, that one skied into left center field. Moving back is Will Hill. He won't get there. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score at least. Moving to third is Wirtz, so a bases clearing triple as it's now 12-3 here in the top of the 9th.
And if you're Boonville at this point, all you can do is hope that your team doesn't forget a performance like this. I mean, credit to the players that are still out there on the field. They're taking this extremely well. There's no signs of frustration, and the body language is excellent on their side. But, I mean, to call this anything other than a humiliation would be, frankly, sugarcoating this game.
Here's Xavier Smith, first pitch, blown by for strike 1. Next pitch fouled off, 0-2.
And I think next time out, we're probably going to be talking about a lot of different faces. I mean, to Coach Griffin's credit, trying out new men in a game like this is definitely a valiant effort, but I think a lot of the faces, especially ones like Friedman, and definitely some of your outfield choices that you've picked in those first 2 games are going to have to come back into the fray. The bats and the defense tonight just not where they need to be.
Blue Sox, similar to the Lumberjacks, have never won the PGCBL tournament. Utica looking for their first this year. 1-2 to Xavier Smith, misses down low. 2-2. Misses low, 3-2. Loses him, ball 4.
Up to bat number 17, Jack Sweeney.
Now it's Jack Sweeney. So Harmon was pitching pretty well to start the inning. Ultimately, some calls didn't go his way, and just like that, it's kind of been a bit of a meltdown here in the 9th. You almost don't realize it, just think he's trying to get out of it. But, you know, that's another pitcher's meeting. Negron comes in, tells his closer, hey, man, you got it. Just close out the game, see what you can do. It's Jack Sweeney up to bat now out of Rutgers.
And I mean, the one thing that you didn't want to happen if you're the Lumberjacks, I think you come into this inning assuming that the game is probably gone, but you want to keep your closer's arm fresh. You've got a game in a couple days, and just a complete failure on that level as well.
That pitch goes to the backstop. Jones comes in to score. 13-3 will be the score here in the top of the ninth.
I mean, obviously, in a normal situation, he would have been hooked in this game probably 5 batters ago. But, I mean, in a game like this, there's no help coming. There's no one in the bullpen. He's just got to figure it out there.
One-zero fastball gets a swing and a miss from Sweeney.
Starting to hear some Trump impressions down there in the basement. I mean, this is just getting brutal out here for the players still in the Boonville field.
One pitch down the middle for strike 2. What I am seeing behind home plate, at least on the Lumberjack side, is Logan Brock talking to a few Utica players. So the beef doesn't seem to be too personal, just, college kids having some fun as Tyson Harmon finally ends the inning, gets Sweeney swinging on a pretty nice slider. And we head to the bottom of the ninth where the Lumberjacks still trail by 10. We'll see you after the break. Bottom of the ninth here at Hanson Aggregates Field, where the Lumberjacks are pretty much just hoping it ends. Stepping up to the plate is Tanner Ferguson on the Lumberjack side. Down 10. Pretty chippy top of the ninth for some reason. Utica felt they wanted to go after closer for the Lumberjacks, Tyson Harmon. Put up a 5 spot while doing so. Here's Ferguson. First pitch misses inside.
Yeah, I mean, in a rivalry game, of course they're going to let him have it, but, I mean, I just hope that these two teams remember this in a week when they play again, and hopefully Boonville on the winning side of that one.
Misses inside, clips Ferguson, so he'll get on. It's time for R.J. Lopez's turn at the dish.
Up to bat number 21.
Lumberjacks have a tall task of coming back in this one. Not sure 10 runs is feasible at this late stage in the game, but they won't just put the bats down and go down easy.
Yeah, and
here's R.J. Lopez.
That's 3 hit by pitch on either side. I mean, I think one more in this game might turn into a brawl.
RJ Lopez skies one to center. That's where Connor Jones is. He settles under it. And that's one out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Up to bat number 4, Eli Negron.
And I will give Lopez some credit for his performance in this game. He's been pretty good out there. He's put some quality swings up, especially for a guy coming into a team that's already played some games and being added into the fray. He's had a pretty decent day.
Here's Negron, who does the same thing, skies that one to center. Connor Jones gets a little bit more action as he moves to his right and puts that one away for out number 2.
Yeah, and I think less is more for this team. I mean, you're down to your final
Up to
out.
bat number 25,
Just really hoping it ends at this point, I think, if you're on the field.
Here's Wyatt Lassiter, the last chance for the Lumberjacks. Ferguson on first. Lassiter skies one to right. Moving to his right is Sweeney. Ball will go out of play. 0-1 to Lasso.
And Boonville's been pretty supportive of this team to start the season, but on a little bit of a chillier night like tonight, I think a lot of people have gone home. The car park up
I'm
top
sure they
on
did
the hill.
after the second inning.
Yeah, it's usually very full, but tonight pretty empty.
Taking off for second is Ferguson as there's another fly ball to Connor Jones in center. Not able to get to that one. A little jam shot single for Wyatt Lassiter extends the game just a little bit more into hour 3.
Yeah, we're into hour 3 now, and last game for the Lumberjacks was just over 2.5 hours long. So I think it was really that second inning that took about a half hour on its own.
Yeah, Lumberjacks will finish with a few more hits tonight and a few more errors, and that's about it. As Haig, I'm not sure what just happened. Looked like it hit him on the elbow. Might have hit his bat for a foul.
It did look like it hit him, but I think it ricocheted off and hit the catcher in the head. I'm not really sure what they're calling that one, whether that was a ball or a strike.
Looking for the umpire's signal. Doesn't give it. Count remains 0-0. That one misses upstairs, so now the count per the umpire is still not given, so we'll move to 1-0 until we know.
I think he wants to go home.
I think everyone does, as that one is skied towards us. Count moves to 2-1, I believe is what I saw, 2-1.
Yeah.
But I'm a little confused. Anyways, 2-1 will be the count until further notice. Harrison Haig out of Bay College, the last chance for the Lumberjacks, slaps one foul, and we move to 2-2. Utica has an hour-long, roughly, bus ride back. The 2-2 misses way upstairs, 3-2.
What do you think if they can load the bases here?
One more time?
What if they can load the bases?
What if? I mean, I'm not sure how much that changes the game in this stage. Gets a swing of another at bat. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Not the strongest arm out for Utica at this stage in the game, as Haig skies that one to center. Connor Jones moves under it, but it's Sweeney who gets under that to end the game here in Boonville. Utica leaves the yard 13-3. Lumberjacks lead in hits 9-8 and errors as well, 2-0. Not a very strong game for the Lumberjacks. Not the strongest game for Utica offensively, but when they don't throw strikes, there's not much they can do to improve their hitting. Lumberjacks leave the yard in defeat with by far the most embarrassing loss of the season so far.
And that's the ball game. Final
Lumberjacks
score,
leaving with more
Lumberjacks
questions than
3,
answers.
Utica.
Yeah, this one's going to be on the the coaching staff really to figure it out.
The
I mean,
Lumberjacks will be back in action.
you have a day off tomorrow, a much-needed day off, I'll say, and, they'll have to figure this out.
Coach Christian Griffin speaking to the opposing team's coach, Doug Dillette. Wonder what that conversation looks like, whether it's about game logistics or respect.
I mean,
What can you take away from a night like this?
no one got injured, I guess, would be my takeaway from this game. I mean, you got beat out. The guy that you trotted out in what was a bullpen game ultimately made it so that the game was never competitive past the top of the second inning. There really is nothing to take away from this game if you're the Lumberjacks. I mean, you lost. You got beat pretty badly. 7 runs surrendered in the second inning, 5 runs surrendered in the ninth. There was really no bright spot at all. The one thing I will say is some new guys got some good at-bats. Argenis Lopez and Harrison Haig, Zeb Swangam all got some good reps out there tonight, but honestly, if you're looking at this box score, there's really not too much positively that you can go off of for next game.
Well, the Lumberjacks have the day off tomorrow where they got to focus a little bit on just about everything, it seems. But for Brady Foxwell, Evans, and Beta, thanks for watching today. And that'll just about do it here at Hanson Aggregates Field. Check in this Thursday for Boonville versus Mohawk Valley. That one will be a radio broadcast on the road. Hope you guys tune in then. Until then, stay safe. See you next time.